guy that probably hit the biggest shot in Cavs history.
They're going up. Oh, my goodness. Hayward came down so hard. Okay, Hayward broke his leg. Hayward has broken his leg. Hayward has broken his leg. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Hold up.
Aaron.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with him.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphries hard fouls, and Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go.
Aaron.
My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go. This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have nothing left of the tank. Let's go. Welcome back to another episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. My name is Dave, and I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here. To my right, I have the host of WECP.
Aaron.
And to my left, I have our fantasy football guru.
Joe,
there he is. Rough week this week. We led off with the Gordon Hayward call of the injury. Tough back-to-back to start the season, too. Like, to experience, like, okay, you're going to Cleveland, big game. Is LeBron playing? He's not playing, of course. He's going to play. No Isaiah Thomas, but you get the Kyrie factor. 5 minutes in, you lose one of the bigger pieces. You know, like one of the guys that was supposed to help put you over the top.
the second
best player, right?
The second biggest piece, yeah.
Right. You lose him, awful. They were all discombobulated for a half. Come back from halftime, good old Celtics, scrappy as shit, try harder than everybody else. Actually come back, win that third quarter 33-18, get back into the lead of that game, and then you lose at the end. Not a bad loss, but just tough, like a real emotional tolling game. And then you got to get on a plane, come back home, and we got to play Giannis Antetokounmpo the very next night. Like there's no break there. So that was the only break that they got. But was Gordon Hayward. But
too soon.
Yeah, too soon. But tough first 2 days of an NBA season. What do you guys think? Like, where does it change anything for you? Are they a lot worse?
Is it weird that I'm impressed with the team?
I like them.
Like, the thing is, this might be the opposite of how I feel about the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Like, they could suck, and I think I'll like this team more than the Red Sox team that was actually good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I agree with that.
We get to see the young guys play.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Let Tatum go. Let the boy go.
Yeah, I missed a lot of the second game. I watched the whole second half of the first game, so I watched them come back.
Really good basketball.
And Tatum looked good. I know he struggled, I guess, in the first half.
Yeah.
A little, but from when I started watching, he looked good. How did he play in the second game?
Good, not great. Do you got the numbers for
the
game
season?
For the season. Okay, yeah.
Well, he scored 14 points in the first game, I think.
13 points, 10 rebounds. Only other player to ever do that in a rookie debut, as Aaron pointed out, is Larry Bird. So Jason Tatum is basically Larry Bird.
How many points do you have on the season?
Right now, he has...
Is it 23? I think he had 9 points. Game 2, I think.
He's averaging 11 points a game.
All right.
But he's also leading the team in rebounds.
Yeah.
That was the thing I noticed from the Cleveland game is they already look much better at rebounding.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Yeah.
He's averaging 9.5 rebounds a game.
From when I started...
In 2 games.
Right.
From when I started watching...
Call it. He's a great rebounder.
The first half. From when I started watching the first half, or the second half on, it just looked so obvious that they were out-rebounding the Cavaliers.
Right.
In that first game.
That's true.
And that's a team with love.
Right.
Like Tristan Thompson, who is a beast rebounder too.
Right, that's like his sole game. Like,
yeah,
that's what he does.
He is a putback and boards guy.
What do you think of Aaron Baines outside of the shower? What do you think of him?
He's well put together.
Yeah. It's a well put together man. He's going to be good for this team. Baines going to be good. He's the rim protector, like really good job protecting the paint. decent rebounder. Like, so, for a guy that size, it's always like, I don't understand why you don't get more rebounds. You know what I mean? But he rebounds well, and this team looks good. Like, and what's crazy is that I don't know that Gordon Hayward's done for the year.
I guess the early reports was that it was like a dislocated tibia.
A dislocated ankle with a broken tibia, right?
But now they're saying it's a broken fibula and not a broken tibia, which is it's not as bad.
Right. And they said it was a completely clean break. No blood vessel damage, no tendon damage, just the bone itself. So you could just put a plate on that thing.
And the fibula is your back bone. It's not your main
shin bone.
One. It's the other one. So
he broke a bone in his leg and they jump for a living.
Right.
It's going to be hard to come back from that. And I'm just saying, the pressure, even if you put a metal plate in there, it's going to hurt like a son of a bitch.
I'm saying if it's
I think playoff stretch?
If it's an 8 month away. If it's an 8 month injury.
Yeah.
That would be the whole season.
That would take you to the playoffs. 8 months, yeah.
So if you can get him back for the playoffs, it's still getting him back for the playoffs.
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily am you gotta bring him back. I think they're going to be good. You have him for 4 more years. You know what I mean? Or whatever he signed, 3, 4, 4 or 5 year contract.
He signed for 4.
4,
so you have him for 3 more.
3 more years. If they don't need him, then don't rush it.
Yeah.
But I think if he can do it, then do it. You know what I mean? If it's that clean and that innocent.
But even if he does come back, you're not going to have your wind. You're not going to have your legs underneath you. You're exercising a bit, your ability to actually play. He'll be the guy that comes off the bench.
Well, I think that 8 month timetable is including rehab on the leg and getting back into game shape. It's not just all right, you fat slob, you can finally start walking around. Let's get you on the court.
No. He could work out, but working out that leg.
Yeah,
it's not just his calf that's going to be rehabbing. It's his knee. It's his thigh. All those muscles, his foot muscles.
Yeah.
To get that lift to actually jump.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
Unless he becomes a shooter that doesn't have to jump to do a jumper. He just kind of...
flat-footed.
Yeah.
And that's what a guy I worked with said today. I used to be so impressed with Gordon Hayward because he had such bunnies for a white guy.
Yeah, not anymore.
I don't know how that's going to go. And I was
I don't know. Paul George seems fine.
George
and his leg break was way worse.
Way worse, yeah. But it did take him 14, 16 months to do it, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He called him. Mm-hmm. Paul George talked to him the day after it happened.
Your favorite basketball player put up a very, very nice Instagram post for him.
He did.
I'm talking about Kobe Bryant.
The Black Mamba.
Very inspirational.
It was really good.
Can
I
say something nice about the Black Mamba?
Sure.
No comment. That's my fucking nice comment about him.
Well he said something very nice about Gordon, or some very personal advice of having to deal with going through rehab and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was a really moment.
Buy your wife a ring and everything goes away.
Not that.
No, not rape.
Rupture.
You didn't give him advice on going through rape.
Yeah, rape, not marriage counseling.
Gordon Hayward's a Mormon, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. No comment there.
Right. I know. Yeah. We'll leave that one. But you got, and like you said, they look good. You still does this set you back a lot, or do you think in some weird way I'm kind of I think they're as good as they were. I don't mind, but I feel like Gordon Hayward was so important to being better too that it feels weird that now that he's gone,
they're the 2 seed in the East to me.
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown's leading the team in scoring.
Playing really
he's
well.
Averaging 21.5 points a game.
Yep.
Playing
2 guard, not Gordon Hayward. Not Gordon Hayward. Jaylen Brown.
Ridiculous to me. But Gordon Hayward's also hurt. So
yes.
I think you're finally going to get to see what all your young players.
It would have been. And you're right. And this is a good time for it. If ever you're going to lose a key player, they have as much depth to be able to take that hiccup.
Yeah, you're not the Patriots.
Right. It does make me wish that Avery Bradley was still on the squad though. Yeah, Gordon Hayward is down.
Really?
Yeah, if I can't have Gordon Hayward, it would be much better if Avery Bradley was there. Yeah.
What do you think of Marcus Smart so far?
I was impressed the second half of that Cleveland game.
The second half,
he was just.
I think he brings more to the table than Avery Bradley.
He was out there making these weird Rondo hybrid plays, posting up players and shit.
He posted up every Cavs player.
Yeah.
In like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like he turned his back to LeBron, worked on him, then he worked on Kevin Love. Like he literally went through their lineup and was like, I'm gonna
And then he like shut down LeBron on that one when he was matched up on him real fast. He like LeBron went to go dribble drive to the right and he just like swatted it out of his hands.
Yeah.
But that's why I think like you're gonna see Brown go off. You're gonna see Smart finally get a chance to hey, you know what? I was a higher draft pick.
Now, what do you think of them not getting the extension done?
They talked to Danny Ainge about it, and Danny said that they were close, but there was still some stuff they were working on.
Yeah.
That there's no, especially on his and Smart's end.
Yeah.
There's no like animosity.
Well, Smart, like that didn't sound true for Smart because he came out and said.
That's what Danny said.
Yeah, right. No, of course. But Smart comes out and says, if y'all wanted to give me, or if y'all wanted me to take a discount, do that to someone that's already made $100 million. And it was like, it's like, I'm still trying to get paid. Like, I'm still trying to get my first contract. Like in the NBA, your second contract is your payday.
Yeah, but you could also be playing on like the Phoenix Suns.
Right. You could also try and offer him that deal now, post Gordon Hayward injury. Like, I'll give you a little insurance, you give me a little discount.
Right.
You know what I mean? That way, if you get Gordon Hayward you're not fucked.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because if you
get
get Gordon Hayward this year,
right,
your next contract is going to be for peanuts.
Right.
But his also mindset might be, well, Gordon Hayward's down.
Myself.
I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to go out there ball this year.
Right. Yeah.
And then next year, when you're sitting there looking at, hey, is Hayward going to come back healthy enough to play this year? I'm going to be making money in Phoenix.
Now, that's true. On our first few episodes, it was just you and I said I would prefer to keep Marcus Smart than Avery Bradley.
Yep.
Right. I still feel that way. I think that's the right move. He's younger. He's going to be cheaper than Bradley. And I think he brings you a little bit more. He's not quite the on-ball defender that Avery Bradley is on the perimeter, but Marcus Smart is more physical on every level.
Even if he's not quite that guy, he's like literally
he's really close.
A step behind,
really
if
close.
that.
Two things. If Marcus Morris comes back, he's your power forward.
Yeah.
You move Tatum to the 3, Brown's your 2.
Yep.
And you obviously have
Right.
Irving as your 1. Why like that? I want to see. Like,
right.
I think Brown brings more pure game to the actual court than a Smart or a Bradley, especially a Bradley, but more than a Smart, I feel.
I think Smart makes a lot of sense coming off the bench as an energy guy, too.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
just what his game is.
Right. He's
very
one of those
high energy, in your face, aggressive. He's not like a finesse player at all. He's like a fucking wrecking ball out
He's
there.
a pit bull, dude. It's crazy. And there was 2 things I took away from that. I watched the first quarter and Marcus Smart was 0 for 8. And I tweeted out on the B.S.N thing like, oh, you wanted more? I said, I have a lot of feelings about this game so far, but right now you wanted more money? # don't ever do that. Right? Because he looked so bad in the first quarter. But then I started, I'm like, of course, like your buddy, this guy you just started to fall in love with, you just saw the worst thing happen to him or whatever. That whole team looked really bad.
Who was the one that, like, in the video?
Irving crying.
Is it him?
Crying.
Because I was like, I can't see who it is, and I'm trying to figure out who it is on the team.
There's a Cavaliers player, too, like, right when it happens, who's just like, like, turns away from the...
Awful.
Was it, Stephen A. was talking about how he goes, I've never seen that before, and I've never seen the opposite team be so taken back.
It is cool, like, NBA, it shook the whole NBA.
It did,
Gordon Hayward comes down.
I think he's a really, really... He's one of those guys that has never been like a fan favorite basketball player. Like he gets left off a lot of people's top 15s, or 20s, wherever you want to rank him. But a lot of NBA players will tell you that kid is real good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they know he can game.
I don't want obviously compare, but he's definitely one of those guys where, you know how they always talk about how, like, man, when people would talk about Bird, like, oh, he's a white guy, he can't do that.
Right, yeah.
No, this guy can play. Like when Cornbread would talk up, he'd be like, wait till you play him.
This guy's for real.
Wait till you play him.
Yeah.
I think he's that. I think he's that guy.
I also think there's an element of there are serious injuries in basketball. Like you blow your ACL or something like that, but there's not like traumatic, very visible injuries in basketball very often. So like, yes, Gordon Hayward is probably a very well-respected player in the league, but I also think if that happened to Baines in the first game and his fucking bone is sticking out of his leg, that there's going to be tweets all through NBA Twitter anyway.
I just don't think it would be as crazy of a story.
Does the Black Mamba tweet at Aaron Baines? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not an all-star.
There are probably still a bunch of NBA tweets like, "Oh, prayers up," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They said Dwayne Wade dropped to a knee instantly and started praying.
My favorite thing about it, and if there's one thing to take away, was just Jaylen Brown walking up like, "What's the matter?" Like, because he didn't see it, so he gets to like half court and you just see him like, "Oh my god!" He just walks the other way of the show like, "Oh man!" Like his face was. I was like, I'm surprised he hasn't become a.
Well, that's the thing is, how many guys actually see somebody break something on the court?
Yeah. That's a really tough basketball injury.
This is why I'm impressed with this team though. So 6 minutes into the game, you watch your second best player go fucking down for the year, pretty much. Is what the first thought to your mind is. He's done.
A lot of people probably thinking. I thought he may never play basketball again, depending on how bad those ligaments are.
That's what they already said.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh my god, like what the hell? So you're in total shock. To come back from that after halftime, like at this point you're like 20 minutes removed from that. You know what I mean? It's not that far after Gordon Hayward goes down that you're coming back from halftime.
Right.
And now you start marching against your biggest competition in the East.
Right.
You start coming back. You end up losing that game, but the fact that you even made it a game...
And you took the lead. They had the lead with a minute left, and Cleveland went on an 8-0 run to close the game out.
...is impressive.
Right.
And I mean, now, and this is, like, Cleveland, their core is still there. I mean, they lost Kyrie, but LeBron and Love
and Thompson and J.R. Smith and those.
This is you lost your heart of you lost your heart of your team and replaced it with a new heart in Kyrie Irving.
Right.
So they're all trying to mesh still.
Right.
You have Brown is out there. He's only a second-year player.
Right.
Tatum, this is his first year.
Terry Rozier, second-year player.
Yeah. Terry Rozier is young.
Right.
Baines his time on the team. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that Marcus Smart is the veteran on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
and he was drafted 4 years ago.
Horford has only been there a year.
Right.
So they're gelling.
Right.
Still.
Yeah.
And they managed to take Cleveland like down to the wire.
Right.
Then they have to immediately after go play probably the next best small forward in the NBA.
Right.
Or point guard, whatever position he decides
he wants to play. Or whatever he wants to be.
Yeah. And they take that game down to the wire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They end up losing by 8.
Competitive game.
Yeah. They end up losing by 8, but it was down to the wire.
And the teams on back-to-backs never fare well anyway. Like the second night of a back-to-back is always tough. And like I said, we're kind of speaking the same language. Not only is the second night of a back-to-back tough, going through everything they went through Tuesday,
it's
you know what I mean?
Emotionally draining.
How did you play a game on Wednesday? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And
one was in Cleveland, one's in Boston, so you had a travel day.
Right.
And Milwaukee's just playing you.
Right.
They
opened their season.
Yeah.
Right. They opened their season against you. And that was when I first started talking about this. There's two things about this that I really like. And you're leading me right to the second one. Brad Stevens is a fucking great coach.
Yeah, he's good.
Because a lot of people, and I'm not saying Isaiah Thomas didn't have the heart. Like, he's one of those characters too. But Jaylen Brown made those comments, remember, a week or two ago, like, I don't know, what does Celtic pride mean? You got rid of Isaiah, yada, yada. It's there. It's still there. And I wondered if it was going to be guys like Crowder and Thomas that were, like, undervalued, tryhards, you know what I mean, that do it. Now, Marcus Smart brings a lot of that energy. Jaylen Brown brings a lot of energy. But this team is just as scrappy in game one as they were in the peak of their season last year. We're like, oh, man, this team just tries harder than everybody else. And that's what it looked like to me. Again, I'm like, it's not just the players. It's Brad Stevens is doing something. He says something. He instills some sort of motive or narrative for the season that gets everyone that's underneath him to try harder than everyone else every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know there's only been 2 games.
Yeah,
but it feels like they haven't missed a beat as far as effort goes.
I was going to say, like you were saying, they're gelling and they're trying to figure each other out. Like they were trying to do that before. Now that he's out of the equation, it's like
you got to redo it. You're going to
literally a day and a half later. You're literally like, okay, our whole game plan is now changing.
Right,
Jaylen.
Yeah,
Yep. Start taking some of this. Hey, Tatum. I know we were saying we're gonna, maybe play some days, have you come off the bench some days. We'll start you, sit you, whatever. Now it's like, listen, guys,
The rotation's different.
You're going to have to figure it out.
Right.
And that's the other thing is like now they're going to be able to, hopefully in a couple weeks, we'll really see what you have from these young, I keep saying young players, but like.
They are young.
It's a young team. Well, we say that, but like I always make I laugh when I forget Kyrie's only 25.
Right.
Like, he's young, even though he's been in the league for a while.
Yeah. Right, but that makes the point, though, too, that the young guys, like, he's an up-and-comer still. Like, Kyrie Irving, he's a really well-established NBA player, but Jaylen Brown is 20.
Yep.
Tatum's 20.
19.
No,
he's 19.
Right, 19, yeah.
They can't even drink yet.
Right.
Terry Rozier, it feels like he's been a Celtic for like 7 years. He's only like 21.
He's played like 80 games for the Celtics or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
I like Terry Rozier a lot,
I do, too. Have you seen they've been doing a lot of both of them on the court?
I like
Kyrie
it.
and him? Yeah. That's interesting.
He's another guy in that Marcus Smart vein who plays tough defense and can, like, slash to the hoop.
I think that's why he's still on the team.
Rozier, right. Yeah,
and I think he has a prettier jumper than Smart does, too.
He definitely does. He's definitely a better shooter.
Yeah.
And he developed a lot in his game. I mean, that mid-range shot and the being able to get to the basket, the soft touch layup. Like
he'll give you a lot of good minutes off the bench.
That feels like him and Kyrie have been doing those drills together. Because Kyrie has such soft touch around the rim. And now all of a sudden Terry Rozier has that floater going. And I'm like, he's picked something up, at least from Kyrie or someone. But his game has gotten so much stronger. But I do want to say real quick, Kyrie Irving right now, you're doing too much, bro.
He's got the thing about Brad Stevens' system and what I like about it is it's not a superstar driven one.
Right.
Like we are not all about this guy kind of.
Right.
Like Isaiah Thomas was scoring a lot of points, but he was also dishing a a you know what I mean?
Right. Avery Bradley averaged 18 points a game and right.
You spread the ball around a lot. They do a lot of passing before they shoot.
Right.
So I think Kyrie has to learn a little bit more
and like he's
to move as part of the unit as opposed to just, dribbling up and looking for LeBron.
And what they've been doing is they've been doing a lot of where he's not bringing the ball or like he doesn't control the ball. He'll bring it up, he'll pass off to Rozier at like half court, and then Kyrie's coming off the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Probably your best scorer on offense now that Hayward's gone. You know what I mean? So it makes sense to have him run free.
I understand that, but I think Kyrie's more dynamic with the ball in his hands.
Ball in his hands, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because one of Kyrie Irving's best things is his dribbling ability and making people look completely foolish.
Right, yeah.
So...
last night was a game where, and I know, like, Brad Stevens talked about, like, Kyrie's role is changing now with no Hayward. You know what I mean? I think I need more for him. 7 of 25, 7 of 27 last night or something like that. Like, it's a lot of shots. It's a lot of shots to put up. And someone's got to take them, I guess, on the possessions. Like, it's whatever. But just not good either. Like, 25% from the floor and had, 9 points or something? I can't remember now. But it just felt like he's just trying too much.
Well, wait, if he shot 7 of 25.
Yeah.
Is that for the season?
No, yesterday.
Yeah.
28%.
There's no way he only had 9 points.
That's true. 17 points. Sorry about that. Yeah. Bunch of free throws.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, he had 17 points. I'm sorry. 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers.
But that's the one thing, like you're saying, like, okay, you like him having the ball in his hand, the ball in his hand. You like him bringing it up and kind of making moves. Mm-hmm. If he's going to do that, he better start finding people. Because if you're only averaging 6 assists a game, you're not.
Yeah, but he had 10 assists. He had 10 assists in game 1.
That's what I'm saying. Right, but they're still trying to.
Stats in game 1.
He was 22 and 10 with 4 rebounds. Like he had a real good game in game 1 as a point guard, too, and coming off the ball and scoring. It was just yesterday.
What was his shooting percentage in game 1?
47%.
All right, so this is my problem, and it's with your guy, Nick Wright.
Okay. Yeah.
He is such an unapologetic LeBron dick riding son of a bitch.
I won't fight that.
That he refuses to give Kyrie Irving any credit
at all. Right.
At all.
Yeah.
So he went on this thing like, what we saw from Kyrie Irving is the same thing we saw from Kyrie Irving before LeBron was there. Yeah, when he was 20 years old.
Right.
What?
Right.
He's 25 now. He's been with LeBron for the last 3 years, so that means from the time he was 19 or 20 to 22, you're going to rip this guy for being the only shooter in town and taking a lot of shots?
Right. He's a 4-time All-Star, 3 years with LeBron. So So that means that he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
Without him, and he's going to make the All-Star team this year. You know what I mean? Barney stays healthy.
And he's like, well, he was. What did he say? He was inefficient. He shot a lot of shots, and they lost the game. It sounds like Kyrie Irving before LeBron got there. It was like, if you're expecting him to just keep shooting a lot of shots and lose a lot of games with the Celtics, I'm sorry, but you don't know Celtics basketball because they're going to win.
Right.
They're definitely going to be the number. In my mind, there's no doubt in my mind, they are the number 2 seed in the NBA, in the East.
Who were on those teams with him in Cleveland
No
before
one.
LeBron?
Fucking nobody. Right.
So that's the point.
Anthony Bennett.
And I'm not saying that fucking Smart, Brown, Tatum are going to be these
this is a good team.
like all-stars.
Right.
But these are good players.
Right.
They could be all-stars in the future, develop into it.
Right.
These are developing players that are willing to fucking gut it out.
Jason Tatum might win Rookie of the Year.
I think he's got to be the favorite, or one of the favorites.
For Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
I think it's him, Ben Simmons. And
I forgot Ben Simmons.
Yeah, that point guard.
Ben Simmons had a really good debut, though, too. Like, he had 18, 10, and 5.
I forgot he fucking doesn't count. He counts as a rookie.
Well, the same thing with what's his name?
With fucking your guy. Yeah, from last year.
Embiid.
Winning Rookie of the Year.
They both had a good game, actually.
Yeah, they lost off to a tough start.
Yeah.
Trust the process, though. It's an important
isn't what's his name making his start? Fultz? He hasn't started, right?
He didn't start.
Isn't he supposed to? His first game supposed to be coming up today or tomorrow?
Lonzo
is it Lonzo?
Lonzo debuts tonight.
He's got to be up there as a favorite to win rookie. The thing
why couldn't it be him that broke his ankle?
If he's come on, if he's the triple double machine that he looks like he could be, then he probably.
The thing is like that kind of sucks for Tatum is it's going to be hard for him to compete with just the sheer volume of opportunities that Lonzo Ball is going to have the ball because he's the point guard on a bad team, which means he's going to be asked to do a lot more than Tatum is.
Yeah, but Tatum's going to be able to get open probably a lot easier because he's not the only player on the team.
Tatum's efficiency stats might be
that's what I
mean. Way better. Yeah. Efficiency stats don't win you player or rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Pure,
be like, he did 18 and 10.
Hardline stats when you rookie of the year.
Yeah, that's true. And also they have this. You see this new thing on NBA Reference, game score, where you got Aaron shaving. You can hear like the bristles, like it's like. They have this thing called game score now, where it's like it's not like WAR in
like
baseball.
A plus minus kind of like a.
It's sort of like a plus minus. Like Kyrie Irving had a 5.71 game score last night.
What's it out of?
I don't know. I'm not sure. There's not much of an explanation.
Is that a good game score or
he had 21 the night before?
All right, so it's not that good.
Not a good one. I think it's sort of just like a overall, like rebound, steals, like all positives, and then you subtract like all your negatives, and then there's something that winds up with a decimal point. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm interested.
Maybe
to track
average everything.
They might average everything. That could be.
Like weighted categories or something like that.
I'm not exactly sure what the game score.
That was my problem with Nick Wright though. So Kyrie has a really good first game.
Yeah.
Against LeBron.
Right.
And has a bad second game.
Right.
And then Nick Wright says nothing about the first game.
Right.
Focuses all his attention on his one bad shooting night so far.
Right.
And
out of two games.
Yeah, out of 2 games, and then just goes. Oh, this is what we're going to see from Kyrie Irving. He can't do anything without LeBron. Like, no, he's going to be just fine.
And you know what? He also has 39 more points than Isaiah Thomas this year. So it's not a bad deal.
One deal so far.
Yeah, right.
What was it? It's the one thing, like the one stat when I look at like per game, like average per game.
Yeah.
Is Tatum averages right now 3 offensive rebounds per game. Yeah. The ability to put it back up. Yeah. The ability to get the ball and get it back to Irving or get it out to
I saw that
Brown.
a lot in the Cleveland game.
Yeah.
A lot of offensive rebounds, second chance.
That's what I want.
And this is without Morris, too, who should help the rebounding, too.
My man, Tice, made his debut last night.
Yeah.
Regular season debut.
Uh-huh.
He had 6 points and, was it 4 rebounds? Is that what he's averaging per game? Is he even on that list?
He's on there. He's averaging 6 points and 2 rebounds.
2 rebounds. In 5 minutes, he played.
Wow, okay.
So you do his per 36, right?
He played 5 minutes.
He is 42 and 14 per 36.
efficiency.
That, my friends, is Tice Talk. that's it. I'm doing
that. Is going to be a new segment.
I'm starting a hashtag on Twitter, and every time I do his Tice Talk, hashtag Tice Talk per 36, Tice is.
Shane Larkin?
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yep.
0 points.
Not good.
And 1 rebound.
Shane Larkin.
Didn't
he play in Florida? He's a point guard, right?
Yes.
And then he went overseas, right?
He played for San Antonio, I think, at one point.
He used to play in Florida.
Yeah. And then he went pro. Didn't really get a lot of playing time, so went to Europe.
Yeah.
And he just came back from there.
It's funny. I liked Shane Larkin in college.
Yeah. Shane Larkin, yeah.
He's averaging a whopping 1 rebound a game.
I saw him in the game. Yeah, that's right. I saw him in the game, in the Cavaliers game. He came in the second half.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I'm really pumped right now for to do our podcast at this point. Also, weird stat for you. Today's only the 17th day in history where all 4 major sports are being played on the same day.
Really?
Isn't that weird? Only 17 times before in American history.
Huh.
Interesting. So,
fun stat, Dave.
Fun stat for you. Gotcha. All right. It's not closing time. Shouldn't have said that yet.
All right.
All right. So they beat the Jets.
Yep.
I guess.
They beat the Jets.
You know what I don't like about this game is fucking bonehead Patriot fans that are like, it wouldn't have mattered. The touchdown wouldn't have mattered. They still would have beat them.
No, like, I am that bonehead Patriots fan.
Yeah, but that's not true. Because if they get a touchdown there, it's 24-14. If they get a touchdown there, that makes it 24-21.
Yeah.
Patriots went 3 and out.
No, all right. This is why I'm the bonehead Patriots fan. Okay. You're assuming the game plays out the exact same way, that the Patriots call the exact same plays and on a different spot on the field now.
Yeah, right.
Because they get the ball up 7. 20, they get the ball up 10.
Right.
In the fourth quarter. It was the fourth quarter at the time.
Yeah.
They get the ball up 10 in the fourth quarter.
Right.
That's a completely different set of plays as opposed to getting the ball up 3 on a kickoff.
To play devil's advocate, you're assuming that it doesn't go that way.
Yeah, but
so,
it's and our amazing coordinators that we have,
right? Yeah,
love to.
My guess is you're throwing the ball more.
How good were they in the fourth quarter? What makes you think that they would have
running the ball to try and run the clock out?
What makes you think that they would have driven right down the field?
I don't know, but what makes you? You're also. It's still an assumption. So I mean, as much as I'm assuming, you're assuming.
Right. No, I know.
And my thinking is that they still win the game because the Patriots are a better team than the Jets, regardless of what anyone wants to say or how they play.
I agree with that. Yeah.
The Patriots are just better. Than the Jets.
Right.
And they looked like they were gonna. From the moment they came back in the second half, they were in control of that game.
Yes.
They looked horrible,
but they looked bad.
The defense looked bad.
The whole team looked bad. Tom Brady threw for 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He was fucking 20 for 38.
Yeah. He threw 3 picks that game.
They had 23 first downs, 63 total plays. They were 7 for 13 on third downs.
Which is, 7 for 13 is better than 50%.
No,
not bad.
I'm sorry, but it gets it done if your defense plays good.
Well, of course, yeah. All you got to do is get 3 points.
That's not a horrendous game.
It's not a good game.
Not a good
no, it's not a Tom. No. Now you sound like a spoiled Pats fan. It's not a Tom Brady game.
No, it's not a spoiled Pats fan. It's looking at the actual stats and watching it.
52% completion percentage is not a good quarterback game.
It is not a bad.
It's a really bad Tom Brady game. It's not a good quarterback game.
It's a fine one.
52% completion percentage? He was 20 for 38.
Go look around the NFL.
Right, okay, so you're saying that based on the peers that he has right this second, sure.
52% is perfectly fine.
But in the history of the NFL...
When you have Kevin Hogan who can't even throw a completion, you have fucking Deshaun Kaiser who gets benched halfway through a game. I know that was 2 Browns quarterbacks.
Right.
Derek Carr, the second coming of Jesus, is awful.
Right.
And before he got hurt, he wasn't great. Then he got hurt. Then he comes back from an injury. Guess what? He's still not great. Right. The Raiders, who are supposed to be the next big thing in the AFC, suck dick. Now all of a sudden, Alex Smith comes out of nowhere, and he's like the second coming of Peyton Manning in his prime. Right. He's going to revert back to being Alex Smith.
Alex Smith was a first pick in the NFL.
Yeah, and he sucked dick until this year.
No, he's always been serviceable. Yes,
you want to know what you would be perfectly happy if you were a Kansas City Chiefs fan prior to this year and Alex Smith threw for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick and won the game.
No,
you would be
wouldn't.
ecstatic.
No,
if you were a Chiefs fan, you would be.
No, I wouldn't.
You would be, but you're a Patriots fan.
No,
and you expect Tom Brady numbers every time Tom Brady touches the field.
If I was the Jets, I'd be fucking stoked right now.
Why? Because Josh McCown, who has a history of sucking dick, had a good game against the worst defense in the NFL.
He threw for 354 yards.
Yes. Welcome to the club. You played the Patriots.
That's a good point.
Okay, that's still... It's your fucking team sucks. Even if your defense sucks,
if you're the
you
Jets
didn't
fans,
score
you should
enough.
be angry
You did
that
not
he's
score
even
enough.
trying to do that. You want Josh McCown to go out there and hand the ball to the other team every time you're up there if you're a Jets fan. Because them winning means nothing. Josh McCown threw for 350 yards against the worst defense in the NFL.
He's doing that without a running game.
They had a fine running game. Matt Forte played, who's their best running back.
He rushed 9 rushes
the Pats shut the
for
run down.
22 yards. That's all he had.
Yeah, the Pats shut the run down.
I'm just saying,
that's not because the Jets suck at running. That's
you
because
want to compare quarterbacks. We're comparing the quarterbacks. He threw for 31 for 47. He had 354
Brady
yards,
had to throw
2
against
touchdowns.
the Jets defense, and he had to throw against the Pats defense. If Brady was playing quarterback for the Jets, guess what? He probably would have thrown for 400 fucking yards and 7 touchdowns because the Pats can't play defense.
Okay, but you have to compare. You can do that. That's like saying the touchdown. Well, if this happened, this would have happened. I'm telling you with the stats that are sitting in front of you.
24. 24 it was 24-14.
They put up 24 points.
24-17.
No one was saying anything about the offense when they sucked dick against Tampa Bay and they put up 18 points.
Yeah, we did.
I think they suck.
I said that was the worst I felt after a game in a long time, after a win.
But no one said no. I felt like the defense was fine, but it was just
every
whole game.
Every week, I'm getting progressively more and more disappointed with what I'm watching.
I kind of.
You want to say that I'm being a Patriots spoiled fan? No,
you are. Because
I'm watching
700 yards from Tom Brady and he threw for 250, and you're disappointed.
I don't want 700. I want him to have a good game where I watch the game and I go, man, he just doesn't look like he's... I think you guys
expected the Jets defense to be way worse than it actually is. They held fucking Drew Brees. They held fucking... they've played good. The Jets defense has played good this year.
Well. That's true. To me, I am a spoiled Patriots fan. I won't fight that. But that game wasn't a good quarterback performance, is all I'm saying. It's a really bad Brady one. And I'm sitting here at 4-2... at first place in the division and saying, what the fuck is wrong? And you're right. If I was a goddamn Browns fan at 4-2, I'd be fucking on my knees praising the Lord above and saying, this is incredible. This is our year. This is nuts, whatever. Tom Brady leads the NFL in passing yards. Tom Brady's like 4th in the NFL in touchdowns. He has one of the better touchdown to interception ratios.
He's top 5 in every category. He's number 1 in passing yards.
Really, really good season so far. I'm just saying that game, their offense wasn't high powered. It wasn't good. It wasn't, and I don't even mean like, it wasn't Patriot. Like it wasn't. It was dysfunctional. It seemed it's stalled a lot. That does happen a lot this year, where there are points. You said it earlier in the year. Why in the third quarter they just stop? They just fucking stop operating, and then they come back.
I still don't put that on Brady though. I put that on.
I think Brady's performance has been good. I just don't think he played well against the Jets, but he never does. I mean, like, this is water's wet, fire's hot. Yeah. He struggles against the Jets and the Chiefs, so the 2 worst games he's had makes sense that those are his 2 worst kryptonites or whatever.
And just to throw whatever blanket on the Chiefs game, they got into the red zone 3 times and handed the ball off.
Right.
So, like, Brady could have had 3 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. They chose to run the ball to Gillis.
Right, yeah.
Which they've gotten away from.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. Yeah, no, I agree.
Didn't they have a rushing touchdown in that game, in the Jets game too?
Maybe. Dion Lewis get one?
Yeah, he got one.
Yeah.
He ran for 11 carries for 52 yards.
He's been playing well.
Yeah, Deion Lewis is the best.
He's been playing really well.
4.7 yards a carry.
Listen, if the Pats the Atlanta Falcons defense is fucking wretched. They're bad again.
Right.
So if the offense goes out there this week and they can't fucking score points, then I'll agree with you guys. But
how many times are we gonna do that where we say, well, if they can't do it this week, if they can't do it this week,
how many points do they average? They got to be in the top 3 in the NFL or 4 in the NFL.
They do, but it also is like it's like clunky. Like it's not smooth.
Why is it not smooth, Dave? You know the answer.
What? Tell me.
Why is it not smooth?
Go ahead,
Who are
tell
they
me.
missing?
Because their offensive line is.
What's your excuse?
Who are they missing?
What's your excuse?
Who are they missing?
What's your excuse?
Oh, Julian Edelman.
What's your excuse? What's your excuse? You haven't had him 1 week this year. That's not an excuse anymore. It's not an excuse anymore.
Look me in the eye and tell me.
It's not an excuse anymore. I'm looking you dead in the eyes. It's not an excuse anymore.
All right, so you don't think the Patriots would average 40 points a game if Julian Edelman was on the field?
You can't make that claim anymore. He's not on the field.
Yes, I can.
That's a what-if scenario. He's not on the field. Talk about what's on the field, the actual shit that's actually going on.
Look up the stats when Julian Edelman is not playing with the Patriots and when he is, and look at how more effective their offense is.
Is he able to play?
Doesn't matter. I'm telling you that's why.
Is he able to play?
I'm not. It doesn't matter.
It does because he's not able to play, man.
Right. And I'm giving you why they look funky.
Okay, so 2 things. Your quarterback should figure it out. And your fucking offensive coordinator should figure it out.
I'm telling you why they look clunky. I didn't say it was the right reason. That's why they look clunky.
But that's at a certain point after what?
Yes.
This is 6 weeks. So the Giants, that's not an excuse anymore.
The Giants 6 weeks from now, they should score 10 touchdowns a game because they should have figured out how to play without OBJ.
You lose one player on your offense?
They lose one player. If the Giants lost OBJ and they had Brandon Marshall, it doesn't matter. Put Brandon Marshall back. Put Brandon Marshall back. Put him back on the team.
I'm talking about one player. You're taking one player out of it.
Take Julio Jones off. Take Julio Jones off the Falcons. You think they score that many points in a game? They don't. They just. You lost your best player on offense.
Okay, but you've had 6 weeks to figure out a new game plan, and you're not doing that.
Yeah, but you don't replace your magic player.
You haven't lost Tom Brady. That's always been everyone's excuses. You have Tom Brady. Guess what? You still have Tom Brady.
And
What's your excuse?
Julian Edelman makes that offense tick.
He's not walking through that door tomorrow, so there's no more excuse.
I agree with you. He's not walking through the door, but it doesn't matter. The offense is not going to tick the way you used to it.
You have to figure out a new game plan. You can't use it as an excuse anymore.
Again, I agree with you, but
then it's a useless point at this point because he's not there. He can't play.
That's nice, but you can't expect the offense to look like it does with Julian Edelman without Julian Edelman. And that's what you want. You want the offense that Julian Edelman is on to go out on the field.
He's not on the field, so I'm watching it and going. You need to start getting it to somebody else. I'm not asking for that offense. I'm asking them for them to do something.
And they have. They're 4-2, and they're like 4th in the fucking NFL in points scored in a game.
They're not playing well. I'm telling you, if you turned off your
Patriot
red, white, and blue,
if they go out next
and
week,
just watched it, it doesn't look good, man.
If they go out next week and beat the Falcons,
okay,
that'll be a big win.
It's a big win, but if you go out there and you only win by 2 points and you look like shit, it still doesn't make me feel good.
They're probably only going to win by 2 points because they give up 75 points a game. That has nothing to do with the offense.
But if you're watching it and Brady still puts up the same amount of stats, it doesn't do anything for me.
Brady had 5 touchdowns and no interceptions against the Texans. The Texans defense with J.J. Watt, with the completely healthy Texans defense.
Okay.
He put up 5 touchdowns, threw for like 350 yards, and had no interceptions. That's a much better defense than the Jets. It's a much better defense than the Falcons. It's a much better defense than Tampa Bay. Sometimes you just have shitty games. I'm not worried about the offense because they just
every week
put up
let the record state
5 fucking touchdowns against a way better defense.
If the stenographer can read this back to me, all I'm saying was that he had a shitty week.
Yeah,
that's it.
For Tom Brady, he had a shitty week.
I don't even think it was for Tom. I just think it was not good quarterback play. I think the fact that guys like Chad McCown, because the Patriots defense does suck, but McCown goes crazy. It's tough watching a guy that you know is not as good as Tom Brady.
Yeah, but he played the Pats defense.
Yeah, but the Jets defense isn't like great.
It's not the Pats defense.
It's also not better than the Texans. You just said that. Yeah. So he definitely struggled in that game. That's definitely not a good game. If he was able to torch the Texans, right, because they're a better defense, that makes your point. And if the Jets are a worse defense than the Texans, then he shouldn't have played worse.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But he did, and it just didn't. It was a bad game.
They shouldn't lose to Miami in Miami ever, but they do.
They do, right?
So I mean, sometimes you just play worse than you actually are.
That's all my point is.
So how do you give them?
I'm checked out of this argument. That's all
how
I'm
do you
saying.
give them the okay? Like, just that's okay. It's okay.
Because I'm not pushing the emergency button on the offense because I watched them torch a good team.
They did it 1 week, and ever since then they haven't.
They torched the Saints. They torched the Texans.
Yeah.
Okay.
They played. Well, how many points did they put up against Kansas City? And they lost.
27.
Kansas City's a good defense. They scored 28 points, 27 points against Kansas City.
Yeah, 28 points against Carolina, 31 points against Carolina.
So the last two games that you've watched, against Carolina. The last two games you've watched,
they beat Carolina, and then the defense gave it up. So
you watched the last two games you've watched, you felt great about.
No, but one was a Thursday night game without Gronk. So
okay, all right,
whatever. And then they played the Jets and had a bad game. I'm not shocked.
Dude. All right, so you. Watching that, it just okay. So you had Gronk, and you didn't you put up 24 points.
Yeah, and the Jets have really good safeties. They just got to stop Gronk for that specific reason.
Okay, and they have no pass rush.
The Jets?
Yeah,
they're probably the best part of their defense is their defensive line.
They trade away all their defensive line.
They still have good defensive line.
Yeah, they still did. They wound up with some players there.
And the Pats' offensive line sucks. So
so that's their offense still sucks.
I'm not pushing the panic button like you seem to be. I'm not worried about the offense. I'm watching them put up 30 points a game.
And I'm watching them still. Okay, here's the thing. It's, to use a word maybe Dave uses or you fucking use, clunky. It looks fucking horrible to watch. It is a goddamn eyesore.
I've been trying to tell you why.
That's not an excuse anymore.
It's a different offense than what you're used to.
He's been out since fucking week 4
We're
of the
having
fucking
the wrong
preseason.
argument. Both things are true. They look clunky, and the reason why they look clunky is because of Julian Edelman.
But you've had 6 weeks to figure out something.
Right.
But you're expecting some magic cure for your best player.
I'm not expecting a magic cure. I'm expecting them to have a better fucking idea than, we'll just count on Gronk.
Aaron,
and then Gronk has to take a week off. And
it's a transition to an offense that is a clunkier offense, but it works.
But we've always made fun of offenses that have to throw wicked fucking deep. Don't tell me one of these guys...
That's what their new offense is. It's an offense that has to throw wicked fucking deep.
But one of these guys can't make a cut underneath. I know, Dave. But my point is, you can't cut underneath? None of these guys can?
No, because they aren't Julian Edelman.
They don't have to be Julian Edelman.
Yes, you do.
Why do you have to be Julian Edelman?
Because he's the best player in the league at doing exactly that.
All right, to use a perfect example, you have a guy...
Danny Amendola can't go across the middle. He can't go between the hash marks without getting a concussion. And he knows it, so he can't catch the ball when you throw it between the hash marks because he's looking for the guy who's going to take his head off.
Right.
And Julian Edelman doesn't have that because he catches the ball, he looks the dude in the eye, he grabs his nuts, and then he spins and scores a touchdown. Because that's what Julian Edelman does. Okay, we don't have Julian Edelman.
But Edelman's been out since week 4 of the preseason.
I know. I watched him go down. That's not the point. The point is you're transitioning from an offense that was a 10 yards at a time, chunk away offense that looked smooth as butter.
They switched from a West Coast offense to a vertical offense.
And now they're going to go, I'm going to take deep shots down the field that have a much... It's like switching from a 2-point shooting around the basket offense in the NBA to a 3-point shooting offense in the NBA. Statistically speaking, a 40% 3-point shot is a great shooting percentage.
Right.
A 40% 2-point shot is
not good.
It's not good. It's the same thing in the NFL. You're taking deep shots down the field that have a much less chance of connecting.
Mm-hmm.
But when they connect, the end result is you score 30 points a game.
Brandon Cooks gets you to the 5, and then you score. Right.
But then there's plays when you're watching Brady either underthrow a guy or fucking overthrow him.
Yeah, he's missed some throws. He's 40 years old.
Okay, but we're talking about how we still have Tom Brady and he doesn't look bad.
He's top 5 in every statistical category for a quarterback at 40. Is he the Tom Brady from fucking 2 years ago? Probably not. But he's still fucking the best quarterback in the NFL now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, without a doubt.
Yeah, easy, yeah.
But to watch that offense, you mean to tell me you sit there and you're like, God, man, they look good.
I think the past 2 weeks has been a real struggle. I think they looked great
against the Texans.
Right.
But that was how many weeks ago?
4.
4? Who'd they play in between? Carolina. They looked fine against Carolina.
See, I have not seen a game Or they look.
I don't think they look
Fucking
good. I don't think they
mind-blowing
look
at
good
all to
against
me.
Tampa Bay on Thursday night without Gronk. So, like I said, I'm done with that game. That's an anomaly to me. Don't even count it. And I don't think they look good. I don't think they look good against the Jets.
Right. So then we're all in agreement that
But
right now
I'm just not-
they don't look good right now.
But I don't think they look good for one game against the Jets.
I think in
The
general
offense.
they don't look
I think
good.
the defense. If you want to have a conversation about how awful the defense is,
we can do.
I will gladly have that conversation.
You want to have that? This is going to be a real long one. They're
bad.
the worst fucking defense I've ever watched in my entire life.
It's awful. You should never give up 350 yards to Josh McCown.
They're the first team ever to give up 300 yards to 6 straight
Granted,
quarterbacks.
you looked good against the run. That's awesome.
They looked better against the run. They did, yeah.
It's awesome. It's really good if you don't give up 350 yards passing at the same time.
Right.
Stephon Gilmore and Eric Rowe are
Still not practicing.
both out.
Still
You're still not going to have them next week.
Yeah, that's not good if Julio Jones is playing.
Right.
Because Malcolm Butler is a terrible matchup with Julio Jones.
I also, I don't have the drop for the prediction. I forgot to get that after last week. So.
But you're excited for this week?
All you got to do is make a decision. That's it. Take a look inside my crystal ball. Right? Let's get into the predictions. We'll see. Are we going to start? Are we starting with? I got a pen here. Are we going to start with the Patriots game, or are we going to work our way down like normal?
Yeah, I'm going to say
do it like always.
70-60. New England. No.
No,
We're going to go. Let's
tonight's game.
Tonight's game.
We're recording this on Thursday night.
Right.
Tonight's game, the Chiefs versus the Raiders.
I'm going Chiefs.
Pats, Falcons at the Pats.
Anyone want to go first?
I'm going Falcons.
I'm going Falcons too. I was going to.
I'll stay with the Patriots.
What's the score?
37, 35.
That's really close to what mine was going to be. I have
Patriots.
I have 38-35 Falcons.
I don't know how they get to 37. What's that, like 3 field goals and
Yeah, 3 field goals, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. I'm going to go 42-24. Bucks at the Bills.
Why am I struggling? Who are the Bucks? Oh, the Buccaneers. I got basketball on the brain.
Who are the Bucks?
I got basketball. I was like, wait a minute, Milwaukee?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, sorry, Jesus.
Sorry.
No, that's
Bucks
fine.
at the Bills?
Yes.
I'm gonna go Bills.
I'm going Bills.
I'm going Bills too.
Panthers at the Bears.
Panthers.
I'm going Panthers.
Panthers are hot. Yeah, I'll go Panthers.
Titans at the Browns. I'm going to ride my boys. I'm going with the Browns.
I'm going with the Titans.
Aaron, I'll buddy back up with you. I'm gonna go Cleveland. They gotta win a fucking game here.
You guys will get it once. I'm just gonna keep picking.
There was like
against
one
it.
week that I didn't pick them, and I was like,
This is gonna be the
it was,
one, right?
It was.
You got a point that week though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
and
was
I
depressed
didn't.
about
I
that.
didn't.
Yeah, Joe won last week.
Oh yeah,
Just
Joe
to
won this week.
clarify.
Yeah.
So
we're at 3.
there was
for
2
Joe.
games. I was so fucking heated.
Yeah.
I picked against what you guys had picked.
Yeah.
And I lost by like 1 or 2 points. I was like, you fucking assholes. Like they had the lead in the 4th quarter and
Yeah.
gave it up. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
The standings right now is Joe has 3 wins, Aaron has 2, and Dave has a lone 1.
And on the board though.
About to make things real interesting around here. Getting a little 3 deuce coming up.
Saints at the Packers. I'm going Saints.
Yeah, even on the road, it is the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers.
Who's their backup?
Brett Hundley.
Brent Hundley.
Played at what, USC?
I
I think he went to USC.
don't know where he played. Did he play at USC?
I think no, not USC. UCLA.
All right.
UCLA.
Yeah, that sounds right.
There he is.
Jags at the Colts. I'm going Jags.
Had to go Jags.
100% going Jags.
Yeah. Although, my boy, Jacoby.
Yeah, Jacoby looks great until he goes up against the best pass defense in the NFL and can't throw the ball.
Okay. All right.
Cards at the Rams. I'm going Rams.
I'm riding the Gurley train.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rams too.
Jesus Christ, Dave, pick a different team than me.
I got the Bills.
Jets.
I got the Browns. I got the Browns.
This one's
the
gonna,
Falcons and the Browns.
This one's gonna be really the different game that we're all not gonna pick the same.
All right, I'm picking the third option. I'm calling tie.
Jets at the Dolphins.
My,
This dumpster fire.
No. My extreme hatred of Jay Cutler will never allow me to pick the Dolphins. Therefore, Jets improve to fucking 4-3.
I'm gonna go Jets here.
Same here. Okay.
God fucking damn it.
Ravens at the Vikings. I'm going Vikings.
I'm going Ravens.
I'm going Vikings too.
You going Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ravens fucking offense, man.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about a bad offense?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It could be them. Spoiled Patriots fans
Yeah.
watching the Ravens like, well,
No,
we're
but
basically as bad
here's
as them.
the thing. I've always watched him
Yeah.
and thought he was horrible.
Flacco?
Yes.
Oh, God.
He's really showing his colors now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Teresa.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
God, yeah.
Horrible
The
quarterback.
worst. I tried telling her, I said, you paid that man a lot of money.
Way too much
A
money.
lot of
I
money.
think he has like multiple games this year where he hasn't broke 100 yards passing.
Probably true.
I think that is true.
You know what makes me mad is that we weren't doing the podcast back then, because if you didn't do a Balk Talk about Joe Flacco making $100 million and you did one about Joel Embiid getting 140, I'd be like, that's the same thing. Like,
no, it's
goddamn,
bad.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
bad.
Right.
Cowboys at the 49ers.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I'm going 49ers.
You can stream that quarterback though.
Yeah, that's true.
Extra point.
Bengals at the Steelers. I'm going Steelers.
I'm going Bengals. I think there's some turmoil in Pitt.
I'm going with the Bungles.
The Bengals. Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Off a bye week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Broncos at the Chargers.
Broncos.
Same here.
Although they are missing Emmanuel Sanders.
Demarius Thomas did his thing, but he's a little banged up too, right?
Yeah.
Seahawks at the G-Men.
I'm going to go Giants.
I'm going Seahawks.
Yeah,
You going Giants make the
going
playoffs?
Seahawks. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Giants make the playoffs.
They go 9-7, second wild card.
Please don't let that happen.
Yeah. 9-7.
You're going Seahawks, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be happy if the Giants have 8 losses.
The Monday night game. This actually could be a really good game.
Yeah.
Redskins at the Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm all about the Wentz. I'm all about the Wentz train.
All right. So what did we get different? I mean, me and Dave picked the Falcons. We both picked the Browns. You and me picked the Vikings. I picked the 49ers. I picked the Steelers.
You picked the 49ers.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Like, for whatever reason, I feel like that could be, like, the weird pick there.
You're buying into C.J. Beathard.
I don't even.
Instead of
I didn't
Brian
even know.
Hoyer?
I just think it's like.
You know, Brian Hoyer got benched, right?
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just they got, I don't know. Cowboys look like
Their passing defense is
they're confused.
not quite the Patriots bad, but it's bad.
And fucking how is
You know who is
Elliott?
good? You know
How is Elliott like just? He's like Mario. He just gets a new fucking like a
Have
new
you heard
life.
the story about?
Just gets a new life every week.
Have you heard the story about Zeke Elliott?
No,
Why he can play this week?
no.
The judge is on vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So he got a temporary
stay of
his
is awesome.
of his suspension until the judge can come back from vacation.
Where did Jerry Jones send him?
Yeah,
Where did Jerry Jones send the guy?
Down to see the glory hole.
Yeah, really. No
Send
I
him
gave me some glory hole.
Sent him somewhere. That's what I feel. I feel like Jerry Jones must have sent him somewhere.
Well, you know, all those rides and limousines with the head of officiating.
Right. Yeah, it's true. All right, let's.
Want to hear one crazy thing before
Yeah.
we switch from football to, I'm assuming, baseball.
Yes, sir.
Matt Ryan, he's 6-6. He's 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Broken. Matt Ryan is broken.
Hey, you guys picked him to win. You want
true.
to know what a get right game is?
This defense.
The Patriots defense.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
They did.
Julio
who
Jones
who they
also
just lose?
doesn't have a touchdown.
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah.
They blew a 17-0 lead to the Dolphins.
To the Dolphins. How many yards did Jay Cutler have passing in that loss?
It was like 173 or something?
Like 155.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Awful. So bad.
And he beat the Falcons 150-something yards passing.
That's true. Yeah, no, the Falcons' defense is terrible.
I just think Brooks
But
Reed.
the Patriots' defense is terrible.
I was gonna say
so-
they're the way offensive line's playing, like guys like Brooks Reed and like Vic Beasley.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
They might eat this week. They might eat well.
I thought I was going to be the lone Falcons pick, and everyone would be like, "What the fuck you picked against them?" And then I when I walked in, I saw your sheet. I was like, "God damn it!" Like,
I just want to let it be known that I will grave dance on both of you if the Pats win.
do that.
Okay.
Let that be
sure.
known.
Here's
If
the
they
thing.
win by 2 points, like you're guessing, I'm not gonna care.
Here's my
I
point.
will still grave dance.
Here's my point. Okay, I'm not very good at this pick'em thing.
You're hoping you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong. Right, that's it. I will gladly let have the Patriots win, and I'm wrong every week, every time.
Have they? They beat the Saints by a good amount. I was gonna say, have they
was
won
like
a
10-point
game
win.
convincingly?
No,
They beat the Saints by I think the Saints only scored 20 points.
I think that was like 20-28.
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't think the Pats were ever really.
No, the game wasn't close.
The Pats
right.
the Pats were winning.
I think there's a garbage time touchdown there too that
Yeah,
made that. Yeah, or a field goal or something. But
so that was probably their most convincing win.
right, which is not a bad one.
The Texans game was a convincing win for a completely different reason.
Right. Yeah, that's true. All right, ready to move on?
I'm ready.
All right.
So good, so good.
I'll never forget 2 or 3 weeks ago when I brought this back, and you guys were pointing across the table to each other. I was like, oh, they just became best friends. They're gonna go do karate in the garage. I'm fucked. I just totally isolated myself from this podcast.
You're the guy who doesn't like Sweet Caroline or Justin Pedroia or anyone on the Red Sox.
That's
You're
true.
actually a Yankee fan who is on a Boston sports podcast.
That is true. So that brings me right into Not Mad at It real quick. Let's hit that real fast.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
If you're not mad
It's
at it,
obviously
it's the
the
fucking
Yankees.
Yankees.
So the Yankees Twitter game is real,
Oh, right. Yankees Twitter. Why won't they die?
The
I just
Boston
want them
Red
to
Sox.
die. I just want the Yankees to die.
A couple days ago, Boston Red Sox posted a photo of Dave Roberts' hand getting past Derek Jeter on the stolen base from 2004, right? Mm-hmm. And they said today is basically a holiday. And 2004 ALCS Game 4, the steal. Today's basically a holiday from the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
The New York Yankees replied, workday for us. Game time's at 5:08 p.m. if you're not busy. I was like, savage. Just so fucking savage. It's a workday for us.
Yeah, you got lucky that.
And they're lucky they're winning their series.
No. I'm not saying I'm not downplaying them winning at all.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely thought the fucking Red Sox should have finished second in the fucking East. Let's not downplay that.
That's true. Yeah.
I think the
People
Yankees.
don't forget.
Yeah. No. Hashtag Aaron doesn't forget.
Right.
Did
But
you pick the Yankees to win, though?
I thought they were going to win it.
That's yeah.
Not the
said that
whole
on the-
thing,
Right,
but
right.
beat out the Red Sox for the East.
I didn't know if at the start of the season we thought the Yankees were going to be as
I
good as they
did.
were.
Yeah,
Or we
I
thought it was
didn't.
Toronto.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking it was the Yankees. Just because I think you're going to spend enough money like that. And I feel like the only thing I will say, not mad at it, you know who I hate? So my Balk Talk always is fucking CeCe. That clown.
Yeah.
He has bought into being a piece of shit Yankee.
Yeah.
And I don't hate the Yankees oh my God, I hate the Yankees. I respect Aaron Judge. I have no hatred for fucking Jeter. I don't like Sanchez. I think he's a fucking asshole.
I hate them all. I hate them all because they've reactivated the fucking worst fan base that's ever existed.
And what does it do?
Ever.
What does it do? Make next year so much more fun.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah, it does make the series better.
No, it makes it fun when the Red Sox are better than them, but if the Yankees go further, I just have to hear it so much.
Right.
They are the worst, the most loud, obnoxious fan base that's ever existed. And anytime you even try and have even a somewhat smart conversation with one, it all just boils down to 27 rings.
27
rings. Right. Woo! Woo! I got 10 t-shirts. They all say 27 rings. Woo! I can't take it. I can't take it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. That should wake up inside you as a Red Sox fan.
It does. I already hate them. Again. I had no hate, no animosity towards any Yankee on the team, and then fucking Judge started smacking the ball out of the place, and they fucking built him a whole court out there in the center field. They start breaking out their douchebag Yankee jerseys and gold chains and fucking 27 rings chants. I can't fucking take Yankee Nation when the Yankees are good. I wish they would all die in a hole somewhere far away in like Indiana where they can't bother me anymore.
But you don't think that this is good for the Red Sox organization?
Oh, it's great for baseball that the Yankees are good.
No, not even that. It's not good for the Red Sox organization?
Competition's good.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sorry, like that's always built like I'm sorry, we laugh and joke about the AFC East when we talk about the Patriots and how fucking horrible they always are.
I would tell you that the division is not as bad as most people think.
Not this year.
I mean over the 15 years. I made a whole spreadsheet that broke down.
I know.
There's a lot.
No, Dave, I know. You've got spreadsheets for days. But my point is the Yankees being good will force this fucking ownership to stop being a bunch of lazy pricks and signing the highest paid fucking asshole on the market. Yes, they've made some good moves. They've brought in Sale. But guess what? You pitched him to death, and he fucking died at the end of the season. You pitched your closer to death,
argue that
and he died at the end of the season.
Does, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but you brought him in to be your horse. He pitched well.
I feel like for this rant, I should just play Dave Speaks from last week. That's basically like the same thing.
But
I completely agree.
Yeah, but my point is, like, I think this creates competition. It creates, I think Aaron, I mean, it's obviously not a bold fucking statement, but I think Aaron Judge is their next Jeter. Like, he's their next great player, and he's always, and I hate, this is what I hate. Like, you know how you said you hate Yankee fans? I hate Yankee fans that are like, oh man, I wish he was more angry. I wish he got more gritty. I wish he said more shit. No, I don't. I like that he's humble. I like that he's humble. Right. I like that he's humble. He goes out there and just fucking plays.
You hate Yankee fans that do that. I hate Yankee fans that talk.
So just
that say words in general.
It's true.
I just don't. I when the Yankees are good, it's like when the Cowboys were good last year. The fan bases are almost interchangeable.
That bother me? It doesn't bother me.
The Yankee fans bother me more because they're a direct rival. But I'm saying.
But that's my point. It should make it more fun as a fan.
It does. It's great for baseball. It just they become insufferable. Just like Cowboys fans become insufferable.
But do you think they're going to win the whole thing?
No, but it doesn't matter. They got further than the Red Sox, and
so
the Yankees
what?
fans.
If you don't win the whole thing, you don't win the whole thing.
I'm going to break down an argument with a Yankee fan after the Yankees don't win the World Series. Ready? Yeah, it's tough, man. Yankees lost the World Series. Yeah, they got farther than the Red Sox, though. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Neither one of us won the World Series. Oh, 27 rings.
Right.
And, okay. You know what? I'll buy you the first-class ticket to Indiana. There's a big hole with your name on it.
Yeah, but what you say back to that is like,
no, you don't say anything back to that. It's like exactly like having an argument with a Giants fan when you go,
can't beat Eli.
You know, hey, right. Tom Brady looked pretty good out there, 5 rings, and they go, well, 0-2 against Eli.
Right.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself. God damn it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the helmet, and then you go off on a tirade, and now you look stupid.
Right. That's why I don't. That's why I don't give him anything.
But you said you do fight back.
No, I said I always look at them and go.
What do you say back to 27 rings?
What do I say back to them?
Yeah, not in a long time. Doesn't matter. It's 27. Yeah, you're counting like fucking Negro League leagues, like rings. That doesn't even count. Yankees. Right. You're talking about when they were fucking Bronx Bombers or shit like that.
I had a Giants fan do that to me once. You know, we have 7 NFL championships. It's like, don't call them NFL championships because they're not Super Bowls.
Yeah, that's what Eagles fans say.
I fucking hate that. Yeah.
When you say they have no rings. Oh, we do have rings.
Right, yeah. We won some NFL championships.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
Count. Right.
I'm talking about Super Bowl era shit.
Right. Yeah, that's like saying...
Not when people had day jobs and played football on the side.
That's like saying Donovan McNabb never won a Super Bowl. Be like, oh, but he won one in college or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he ever won one in college, but... It's like, when does that stop? Because why, for a player, do we get to not count
what it
was before the league that we're judging them on now? But as a team of a loser franchise, you can go, well, we won a bunch before the league that we're judging it on now. Like, it's the same fucking thing.
Well, that's the thing is, like, how many... That's always my point back to them is like, okay, Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Right.
We've won World Series. We're not the fucking shitball team of the league.
Right.
Aaron, that's not a point. That's a concession. That's what you just did. You conceded to the Yankee fan.
That they have 27 rings.
Yep, and that's why.
Well, I'm not going to argue that, but then I'm going to look at him and be like, okay, well, tell me more about what you're doing right now.
I'm giving you the exact perfect answer, and it is: I hate you all. Go die in a hole in Indiana.
When was the last time they won a World Series?
8 years ago. What's crazy is that Joe Girardi's keeping his job.
That's a good comeback. When's the last time you won a World Series? To which they will respond with 27 rings.
27 rings.
And then you say, God, I can't
have a conversation with
you. You haven't won one since.
You ever seen that meme on the internet where it's like a bunch of stick figure people and they're having like constructive conversation, and then like the next frame is like, oh look, here comes whoever. And it's just like a bunch of people like shitting and flags in the air.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. A bunch of baseball fans are having a conversation. It's like, oh shit, here come the Yankee fans. They're just shitting all over themselves, screaming 27 rings. And here comes the judge.
But most of those Yankee fans are Giant fans,
right? New York fans, yeah.
And what else are they? That's it.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't have the Celtics. What are they? A fucking Knicks fan?
I know a
fucking Nets fan.
I know a Giants, Yankees, Knicks, Rangers fan.
And they must hate their life.
Legit.
I hate Giants Red Sox fans. Is that a weird thing?
That pisses me off so much.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying.
Graham is that.
Yes, I know.
And I want to fight his head because I'm just like,
fight his head.
I want to fight his head.
Has to be the name of this episode. I want to fight his head is not a real statement. That's not just his head.
Give me his head.
I want to fight. Not even his face. Right. His head, just like the back of his head.
Brow line up. That's it. I want to fight that thing.
It's like I know a girl that's like that. She's a Giants, Red Sox fan, and I look at her and I go, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, I like the."
I know why.
I like the Bruins. I'm like, "What is your reason?" Like, your dad's a Giants fan because that's his. He's been a fan since he was a kid.
If people say like, "Oh, my dad I was raised in a Giants household. I always watched him root for him."
Yeah, but when your whole others like, okay, so then her brother's a fucking Rams fan.
Yeah,
and then her other brother is a New England everything fan.
Wow, yeah.
So everybody's a Red Sox fan except for Dad. Dad's a fucking Yankees fan. So how did you become a Red Sox fan? If your excuse is that your dad's a Giants fan, but you're a fucking Red Sox fan?
There's two takes from a very active sports household. There's you buddy up with your dad or whoever the sports fan is, if it's your mom, whatever. You buddy up with him and you guys enjoy the game together. Or you grow up and you're like,
Dad had it wrong.
I always hated those fucking Red Sox or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and then you're just like, my dad used to make me watch them, and I used to love it when the Yankees would beat them, and my dad would be all pissed or whatever, and I realized I get more enjoyment out of that, and then you become a Yankees fan. You're either driven to the worst enemy, either to the dark side or whatever.
Yeah, or it's like Tommy Jernigan down the road is a fucking Red Sox fan. I hate him.
Right, there's always like someone
that the Red Sox.
Right, yep. That's true.
That happens when you're like 8 usually.
Yeah,
like 8 years old.
I hate them. I hate them all.
Where your fandom is designed. And
then you like go on this really weird tangent where you're like, I hope they all die in a hole in Indiana or something crazy like that. You know what I mean?
So to actually talk about the Red Sox, like that's happening right now, other than they're not playing.
Right.
It was a great tangent.
That was a good bit.
It wasn't a bit. That was my actual feeling.
Eduardo Rodriguez, had he had underwent reconstruction of the, I don't know.
Patellar tendon?
Something like, no. It's much longer word than that.
Right.
Ligament in his right knee. He had his right knee worked on.
Oh, is that like a PCL tear or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. And then Hanley had his left shoulder arthroscopic and whatever
like
else.
Labrum issue, right, or something?
So he's having surgery, which I don't care. I don't think much of him anyway. And apparently fucking everybody's best friend, Dustin Pedroia, is supposed to be going to meet with another doctor tomorrow and make a decision on what he's doing. So
the laser show is really more like a flashlight show.
It really. That's what I said to my buddy. They're like, "What's your problem with Dustin Pedroia?" And I said, "He's not the laser show. He's like a flashlight where you like smack the batteries and like trying to like."
He's one of those like wind up ones that never runs out of
the kinetic energy one.
He's the shake weight.
Oh, he's the jerk off.
The jerk off flashlight. That's a real thing.
One of those Hummer lights.
It's more like the fleshlight, Dustin Pedroia. You're not going to get me to say a nice thing about him. So
no, I just think
I wish you well in your recovery.
Those are all your nagging injuries that are finally going to be
just
quote unquote taken care of.
Go get Giancarlo. That's who I want.
I heard.
Pay up.
I heard a
trade
rumor.
Up, do whatever you need.
Yeah, but what are you going to trade?
I heard a
Anything
rumor.
they want.
I heard a rumor.
Anything
except for Mookie.
I heard.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Go ahead. What's your rumor, dude?
I heard a rumor that the deal that I proposed to you guys last week was discussed between the Marlins and the Red Sox.
Yeah, but I don't see Giancarlo in a Red Sox uniform yet, so
it's a rumor. It's a rumor. It's not a done deal.
Where are you going to play him?
Price.
Doesn't I don't care anywhere where he.
You're going to DH him. If you can get rid of Hanley, I'll gladly take him on as a DH.
That's all I need.
Right.
I need you to hit 50.
Let him
runs.
DH. That would be crazy.
I'm going to start calling him.
Put him anywhere.
Judge.
Let him be a DH, and then every other day play like he can literally just be like. Not a utility outfielder, but he could play like one of the corner outfield spots when you need to give those guys a spell.
What's better than a judge? Like at the Supreme Court, I'm going to start calling Giancarlo Stanton like the Supreme Carlo.
Supreme Carlo.
It's a bad nickname.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling him something better than a judge.
The
defendant,
second Stanton set of appeals. It's out there. Yeah. There's one there somewhere. But now we do have a new manager on the horizon. We don't know who specifically yet. It's been pretty narrowed down. I think it's going to be Alex Cora.
I think, what is it, down to 2 guys, right? Gardenhire signed with Detroit.
Gardenhire got a job. He interviewed today, right? Yep. And then I think Detroit probably called after that and was like, hey,
former Mariner Alex Cora.
Close. Very close. Joey Cora, former Mariner. Alex Cora, former Red Sox.
His brother.
AKA
bro.
Yep. Alex Cora, long, illustrious career.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah. No,
I just want to let the listener know.
Yeah,
there was a pre-podcast conversation where I thought that Alex Cora was a Mariner.
And it was Joey.
That was a callback to something you guys didn't hear, which was a bad callback to do.
It was probably a bad podcasting. Podcast it 101. Don't make inside jokes that the listeners don't know about.
Or make a bunch of them.
just do it nonstop.
Keep them on their toes.
Exactly. They're like, I want to know what that one means.
Tice and Chandler.
Tice and Chandler. Do you fucking get it? Do you guys get it?
Is he still out there?
Chandler's available. He's on the block.
Anyway, all right, we're talking about the Red Sox.
So Alex Cora may be the manager. I'm excited about it.
Young manager for a young team. Young movement.
I like it. Youth movement.
The youth movement.
Keep the youth movement going.
Trust the process. We're not going to copy that. We're going to take a youth movement hashtag.
I'm all about that youth movement. Get rid of Pedroia. Get rid of Price. I'm on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm with you for Giancarlo Stanton.
If you do that,
Price, Pedroia, Hanley for Giancarlo Stanton.
Right.
Straight up.
Yeah.
We'll send Hanley.
I'll take it.
Send Hanley back to the Mariners.
He'll be like, guys.
Mariners. So the Marlins.
Joey Cora.
Yeah.
Back to the Red Sox. We'll send Hanley back. He'll be like, are you fucking kidding me? I moved from Boston to Miami to Boston. What the hell? Now back to Miami again. Fucking do it.
Well, didn't he? Where did he play in between there? Didn't he end up in Detroit at one point?
L.A.?
He went.
Was it L.A.? There you go. That's where he ended up.
He was at the Dodgers.
Yeah. But that'd be interesting. Do that deal.
I take it in a heartbeat.
That's a youth movement right there.
That's a youth movement. Now, what is this youth movement thing? Is there something I don't know?
I just made that up.
No, that's a thing.
Oh, a youth movement is a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
When you just have go with the young guys.
It was like trending about the Celtics like a lot, and I thought maybe it was like some cool Celtics
with the
thing.
young guys.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if there was like an alternate like.
Well, Cora was only 42. That's young for a manager.
That is young for a manager.
Who's the other guy?
It's all about
Osmus.
Youth movement.
Osmus
has got to be young for a manager too.
He is.
Yeah.
He's got to be in his 40s.
What happened to the Gabe Kapler rumor? Remember early it was like Gabe Kapler.
Veritech doesn't have any interest in being.
We were talking about that before the podcast. I don't want him.
No?
Not because he's not a good baseball mind. He's been out of the league for how long? He hasn't really been doing.
But I feel like that's what Veritech was born to do. Was be a manager.
I think he would be a good manager.
Yeah.
And I obviously don't think he's going to take fucking Pedroia's bullshit or Price's bullshit calling out fucking
I would love
Hall
that.
of Famers. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't picture him, that guy.
I'm just picturing Jason Varitek mushing Dustin Pedroia like he did Alex Rodriguez. Like
I don't know, though. He might be such a player's guy.
That's why I don't like him.
That he does take all that.
Yeah, but
stuff.
I think he would. I don't think he would allow that to go on the way it did. I don't think he would. I think he has enough respect.
Jason Varitek going either way with that.
See, I don't love the Varitek idea. We talked about it outside, and I think
he'd be great for the pitching.
He'd be, oh yeah.
I think Price would either get his shit together or he'd be like, we need to get him out of town.
Right.
Because he doesn't have it.
I think he'd be a really good in-game manager.
Oh, fucking
You know what
great.
I mean? Like when to
At
pinch
this
it.
point,
Right.
I'll take that, though.
Right.
And could you imagine, especially how good Vasquez is playing, like having him in the locker room every day to talk to?
It's almost better that he doesn't, because it would be a shame for Varitek to come back in as a manager, fucking suck dick,
and then be hated by Red Sox fans. Yeah.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Right.
Bless you.
I don't think he would be.
I
think players.
If he sucked dick and ruined the young team, he absolutely would be hated.
I think he'd be. I
He
think
would be
people
laser
would be
show level of hatred with Dave.
No. I can't picture anybody hating him. Like, I think people would be like, he's just not a good manager. I think that's what they would say. Like, he's not a John Farrell where he was barely a pitcher,
right,
and then became a pitching coach and then a manager.
Right.
He was not a great hitter, but he was a great
catcher.
Game play,
right.
Just game plan for against other batters, and
true.
helping pitchers find something. Like, obviously he wasn't great at catching Wakefield,
right.
but he could if he wanted to. Like, that was the thing that always made him laugh. He's like, it's not, they act like I won't do it.
Right.
They just prefer to have somebody else to give me a spell.
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to frantically think about it all week.
Throw a wrench in the whole current team.
Yeah.
Hire Dennis Eckersley as your manager.
See, that's what I think. Pull your dick out.
Just be
Dave Dombrowski. We'll put it on your table.
Could you
and
imagine?
Be like, hey, David Price, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, and like straight up, because your shit doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Who's like another
Imagine that,
old?
Hi, this is our new manager.
Right.
You guys might know who he is.
Right. I think you've met him on a plane before.
Yeah. But hey, Dan, you can't do that. Oh, I can. I'm Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah, right.
Nice to meet you guys.
Well, that's the other thing is like, isn't there a guy that, like, I don't want to say, like, obviously not like I can't picture them doing it. Obviously Ortiz wouldn't be doing it, and I don't think he'd be I don't know, he would not. I can't picture him doing it. But is there any great player that in your past that would be like that you can see doing it other than Varitek, mind wise,
right,
for the game?
No, because I don't think great players make great managers.
No, like
how many, like, throughout baseball?
Ozzie Guillen a good
player?
He was okay.
He was good, yeah. But that's, I mean, like, if throughout history, how many great players go on to be great front office people coaches? Larry Bird.
Yeah, you know who's one of them that was one, but he had a problem.
Yeah,
is the greatest batter of all time.
Pete Rose.
Oh yeah.
Pete Rose was not a bad manager.
Right. No, he wasn't a bad manager. That's a good one.
If he didn't have a gambling problem,
right? No, that's a good one too. Larry Bird is the only NBA player to win the MVP, win the Coach of the Year,
John Elway,
and win the Front Office Player of the Year, or General Manager of the Year.
Elway.
Elway's a good one.
He's a good GM. I'm talking about you're right about Bird. I'm just trying to think of like a great Red Sox player. That you could be like, you know what, that guy could do it.
Yeah, I think some of the older guys, like if you had like call you Yastrzemski, or Colin Fisk, or one of those guys, maybe Jim Rice, Jim Rice, but I think he would be too. I don't think a lot of people like him.
Oh, I think he would. I think the moment that like you want to talk about Varitek smushing, right. I think he would just straight up. Get the fuck off the plane.
A dictatorship isn't great either.
No, but I think if you're going to go, like as Joe's saying, the youth movement, you're going to want to not take bullshit anymore.
Right.
Hey, listen, kid, I'm a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Let's start playing good baseball, and then you can start talking to me about it.
Yep.
Prove me
Right.
that you deserve to have something to say to.
It's like, I think, was it on this show that we were talking about how Mike Singletary really built the 49ers Super Bowl team?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
And that he
doesn't
set
get
that tone.
Yeah, he doesn't get any credit for that.
They're not winners. I
Yep.
can't play with them. I
Yep.
can't coach them. I can't whatever. Like, that whole
Telling
atmosphere was changed with Mike Singletary, and I 100% agree with that.
Ditka.
If the Red Sox were really bad, and like I wanted to have like an interesting season to follow, I would say
Bring back Bobby Valentine.
Pedro Martinez.
Well, I was gonna say Pedro, but he is such a player.
Right.
He'd be all about the players.
I know, but he would be a great manager to have, and for like a bad team to stay interested in them.
Right.
He'd be Ozzie Guillen.
Oh, it'd be great.
He'd be Bobby Valentine and Ozzie Guillen. Yeah, right.
Especially you start beaning motherfuckers.
Right, yeah.
And just like arguing with umps.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I think the reason why we were talking outside, and Alex Cora, you made the good point, like, you don't want someone that's too friendly with the players that's just going to let the same shit happen. I said there's a difference between, I don't want a player-friendly manager. I want a player-respected manager.
I don't know if you get that with Alex Cora.
See, I think the respect level's there. And I think I don't mind player-friendly as long as he's player-respected. And it's cool to be cool with everybody, but there has to be that line of,
if he can establish it.
Right.
Like,
I think he has, because he's been in the business now of management, or, being a bench coach for the Astros.
Yeah.
Like, he's been on the other side of it for long enough around the league that I think he might be able to come in and swing his dick a little bit and say, guys, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think he has the gall to go in and be like, Dustin, shut up and sit down.
I don't know.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Have to be. He might be able to sit down with Dustin Pedroia and have a private conversation with him without saying "shut up and sit down."
Right.
Yeah,
where
but
the same point gets across in a much player-friendly
true,
way.
But here's the thing, like you're saying, he gives Dustin the look, and then later on they talk about it. But if he and this is once again talking about something that hasn't happened, and might never happen.
Right.
But if fucking Price stands up there and starts going off, and he fucking starts clapping and getting his back, and yeah, that's right. And he doesn't at least give him the look like you're both benched the next time you have to play.
Yep.
Hey, Price, you're going back to fucking Pawtucket.
So you don't think Corey could do that?
He'd have to prove it.
Yeah, and that's fair.
I don't think you're gonna get a tough guy.
No, I don't think he'll get a tough guy.
And I think
that would have been
why,
Gardenhire. That would have been Gardenhire.
Well, I was gonna say that was him, and then they're saying that the other guy, what's his name?
Is that Osmus?
Osmus. I heard that like he doesn't take people's shit either.
They say that he's John Farrell.
Oh,
like
really?
John Farrell came in as a structure guy. You know what I mean? He's well disciplined.
Yeah, I don't
and
want
I'm
that
like,
either.
I don't want that guy again either, because John Farrell is be on time to practice. Go ahead, curse out our employees, but
John Farrell is a structure guy, maybe around the team, but he has fucking no sack when dealing with like the public at all.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, if you really want to,
or any kind of critiquing,
I got it. I got the guy. If
Rich
you guys close. If you want to go with a guy that like he's going to give you great talk, and he's going to go out there and he's going to coach these young players, fucking the shitbag Lula Ramone, the hometown hero.
I actually wouldn't mind Lula Ramone.
He would drive me fucking nuts. I would go crazy.
He hates all the people you hate.
Well, as long as he goes in there and really can change it.
Lou Merlone so
I don't
much.
like him.
He thinks he's a cocky fuck.
I think he's a pompous ass.
There's two words. Those are
Same shit, but that's the way I like to. That's the way I like to say it. I like to say he's a pompous ass.
I don't know. I don't get that vibe.
Oh, I do.
I don't either. I know what he's saying. That there's a lot of like the. Listen, man, I played. I know. Like
me and Manny and me. No, me
Nomar
and Nomar and me and fucking oh god, why am I can see his face. Pedro, me and Pedro, I could tell Pedro when he was going to do, dude, shut the fuck up, because otherwise you'd still be in the league. Don't tell me that shit.
Yeah, he's like 40 years old.
No, I'm talking about when he was
Right.
when he was saying that. I was like, you would have been a better player than just a fucking flash in the pan when you were a rookie,
Right.
And then just I don't think he was that. He wasn't that good of a player.
He was a really good utility infielder.
He was good.
Whatever that means.
He was all right.
Right. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't think you have
he's
to be
a million times
No.
better at baseball than I'll ever be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there's that.
You know what? I don't think you have to be a really great player to garner a bunch of respect with your teammates. So I think he could have been buddy with Pedro.
I mean,
and not been good.
I mean, the perfect example is fucking Joe Torre.
Scalabrini.
Right. Scalabrini's going to make a really good coach one day.
Yeah.
He's going to make a really,
I think
really
Lou
good
Merloni,
coach
I'll tell you what, he's a hell of a lot better at making baseball decisions
than John Farrell
is.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. I thought about that too, that I would be interested to see if he interviewed. Just to see if they were interested.
To me, much as you don't like
why do you think that he wouldn't?
I just don't think he would. I think he would want to be like you said. Like I think he'd want to be like a batting coach or a bench coach. I don't think he wants to be the manager. I think it's too much.
I think he wants to broadcast for him. I think he wants
that's
that job.
probably that's the job that he really wants.
I don't think he wants to coach. I think he's actually said like I've gotten offers and I just don't want any. But I think he'd be good. Like I think he would actually do well. And to me, he's one of the more knowledgeable baseball guys that we have in the area. Like, or in general, like he should be doing ESPN.
He's good. He is good at his inside knowledge as much as I'm making fun of him for it. But at the same time, when he starts doing that about like football, basketball, I'm like, shh, dude.
Yeah, but they all do that.
I get
Christian
it.
Fourier talks baseball and hockey.
And he doesn't know fucking shit about it. Why do I have to listen to Glenn Ordway's fat ass on the radio? What the fuck does he know about any of that shit?
That's true.
Just because he grew up with a microphone in front of his face, I'm supposed to... We're fucking sitting here. I never played football. Why does my opinion fucking matter?
It doesn't. You're turned off.
No, I just think that there's certain guys when you watch them and see how they are, that I just don't think he would. I don't think he would tolerate the bullshit from Price, but I also think that he would push a lot of those younger players away with his attitude.
You're telling me you wouldn't like Angry Lou?
I would love Angry Lou.
Angry Lou in the locker room? I think he would call people out on their shit.
I think.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
It's when
I think turn off the younger guys.
I think he'd become a Bobby Valentine where he'd just piss everybody off and everybody be like, I can't wait for him to get fired. You know what though?
He might be one of those guys where he can call them out and have their respect, whereas Bobby Valentine never got an ounce of respect from the moment he landed.
Right.
He wasn't a bad player, and he wasn't a bad manager when he was with the Mets.
Right. Well, best moment in baseball history, I think, was the Bobby Valentine ejection.
The mustache and
coming back in with the disguise.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite baseball moment of all time.
That's what he's known for.
Especially non-Red Sox.
Bobby Valentine, I don't think he really gave a fuck about the Red Sox job.
Right.
He could have probably been a good manager if he would have built up respect in the clubhouse and then started fucking going after.
They started though, and he started on such a bad foot because remember when Holly was on the show, he was telling the story about how Francona was out to dinner with them, the night of the meeting with the manager, and he was getting texts from the players. Are you kidding me? We hired this guy, whatever, right? And
they already had a preconceived notion.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he could have come into the clubhouse and beaten that preconceived notion off the rip, gotten the players on his side, that whole going at Middlebrooks thing would have been taken completely differently.
True. Yeah, that's different. Yeah,
maybe.
So I think Merloni might have a chance. He instantly has respect in the Red Sox clubhouse,
right?
And then he can say things like, "I need more out of Dustin Pedroia." I can't. Right. He can say things going at certain players, and it won't be taken as "Oh, this guy doesn't give a fuck about
dickhead."
us.
Yeah.
See, that's why I always thought. You know who I thought would be a great manager out of the Red Sox organization, only because his bloody sock, but. Schilling, I always thought, had a mind for the game.
Yeah.
Him, when he was working for ESPN, he just doesn't know how to shut up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's also, semi a crazy person.
Well, yeah, now it's...
He's a politician now, so it's he's all...
He's all about trying to make as much
Yeah.
Seen as he can and making a big splash in
he does have
social
a good baseball
media.
mind, though.
That's what I'm talking about. Like his mind for the game would have been good.
He is intense, though. Like, I don't know if that would have.
He's a lot. He's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, no, I think that's the same situation with like Valentine. I think it's you. I think no matter what, even if he went in there and he won over the other guys, I think Dave's fucking best friend, the Laser Show, would have still hated him. No matter what. I think he was probably the first guy that texted fucking Terry Francona, I hate this guy.
Right, yeah, I believe that. Like, are you kidding me? We heard this fucking clown. You know
I
what I mean?
guarantee you.
Right. Yeah, I feel
he was one of the first people texting.
Yep. All right.
But it seems like it's going to be Alex Cora.
That's what I feel. I hope. I think out of who's left, if it's Osmus
Hashtag
or
youth
Cora,
movement.
Hashtag youth movement.
I'm okay with it if you trade Pedroia or cut him. 102.
You definitely aren't going to cut him. If I was a betting man, I would say I would expect him to be on the team next year.
Me too. I do too, as much as I hate it. But, excuse me.
I do think they should do everything within their power outside of trading Mookie Betts to go get fucking
Giancarlo
Stanton.
Or at least the best bat on the market.
Yeah.
I don't want Benintendi. I don't want Bogarts. I don't care about Bogarts. I don't want Bradley, Benintendi, or Betts gone.
Yeah, I want your outfield to stay.
I want them all day.
I think I could part ways with Bradley if I had to.
Yeah.
I don't want.
He's just the best defensive center
He's
I've
really
ever
good.
watched in my life.
I agree. I could if I had to. I would prefer not to.
Mm-hmm.
I would really, really, really try and hold on to Benintendi, Betts, and Devers. Not.
Devers.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah.
I think Devers is a non-touchable.
Yeah. I think to me, like I said, Price, Hanley, Bogarts.
I think if you can hold on to Benintendi, Betts, and Devers, and add Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
I mean, with those four,
yeah.
I mean, Bradley would be a nice piece to add into that, but those four,
well, I was going to say, if you trade Bradley in that trade,
yeah,
you can move your Betts. You can move Betts to center,
right,
and then you can move Benintendi to right.
Yeah,
and
John can play left.
He can play left.
Right, that's true. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm rooting for Alex Cora over Brad Ausmus. So
I'm hoping Alex Cora, youth movement. They're both young, but hashtag youth movement Alex Cora.
I think he's the devil,
Yeah.
Type deal. Like I don't think he's the devil. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Don't misquote me.
No, okay.
But I think Alex Cora is the devil.
We're gonna cut off the you don't know part. We're just gonna.
Alex Cora is the devil.
We're gonna play that 10 times at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, just Alex Cora is the devil. It's gonna get deeper.
Yeah.
Alex Cora is the devil.
When they sign him next week, just play that over and over again at the beginning of the episode.
Send it to all the major news outlets.
And then out of nowhere, it'll just be like, hold on. That'll be it. Funky moves you got over there. There he is. It's like a mix of Night of the Roxbury and the kid from the Katy Perry video.
I felt like a Muppet.
Yeah, that's a better explanation. I wish we were Facebook Live for that because that definitely was a very Muppet ass movement. Let me tell you, Aaron, what do you got for our weekly Bruins update?
Your
Bruins update.
You're 2-3.
Yep.
And Rask is now out with a concussion. He is in NHL concussion protocol. His own teammate ran into him at practice yesterday.
That's not a good.
And he is concussed.
Do they still have that guy, Michael Subban?
Oh no! You played against the fucking Knights, and he shut you down.
That's right. You lost 3-1.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Also, is it Michael Subban?
No,
it's a PK.
No, PK's his brother.
His brother.
He plays in Carolina. You're talking about it's
Malcolm.
Yeah, I want to say it's Malcolm Subban.
Malcolm Subban. Okay. All right. Do they have Malcolm Subban?
No, you do not. You have Anton
Udobin.
Yeah, Udobin. The only positive I will say to that is Rask was 1-3, giving up 3.3 goals a game.
Wow,
his save percentage was .882.
That's standing on your tippy toes.
No, that's standing on a mop. That's standing on a mop on
laying
ice.
on your back.
That is not.
That's
not
turtle.
well.
That's turtling. That's turtling. You are laying on your back. Yeah. You are turtling.
You're turtling right now.
He's just not.
That's
not
good.
playing well.
Not good.
And that was supposed to be the. You got a goalie that can play well. Yeah, you let one go.
Right.
He's 1-3.
He's 1-3.
So that means
Udobin's 1-0.
He's 1-0.
How many goals did he give up?
He's given up 1.5 goals a game. That's
Nice.
their averaging amount. He's played apparently.
He came in relief.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, he probably came in. He probably
How'd
closed
you
the
give
game
up
out.
half a goal?
He probably
in
came
one
in.
He probably closed the game.
Yeah, I was
out.
gonna say he played in 2 games. He must have came in relief on one of those losses.
Yeah.
He also has a save percentage of .950.
There it is.
So
there it is.
I just want to say this because I'm this guy.
Yeah.
take a look at both of those dudes.
Right.
The ugliest goalie tandem I've ever seen in my life. Like some of
Especially
the
on the Bucks.
ugliest. And I'll give it to Rask.
Yeah.
He's from Finland, so he's probably lived underneath an iceberg his whole life. But he is an ugly fuck.
What's that guy's name again? Udobin?
Anton Udobin.
Anton, don't go in?
Yeah. They're all right. Well, I will say this:
that's a nice try. That's it.
you spent a lot of money in the offseason.
Yeah.
Not a lot of money in the offseason. You spent a lot of money to re-sign Marchand.
Yeah.
He's got 6 points. He's got 3 goals, 3 assists. Pasternak's got 3 goals, 1 assist. He's got 4 points. He's a -2. But Chara, I think he's got 1 goal. He's got 2 assists. He's playing well. He's playing. He's a +5.
40 years old.
Yeah, +5.
Good in Boston.
6'9".
Right.
With a fucking hockey stick of like a wingspan of 7 feet.
Right. It's crazy.
He's playing well. It's just crazy that he's playing well, but it's sad because your goalie's not.
Right.
And
Turtle Rask.
Turtle Rask.
There it is. Did it.
They're gonna need to do something
I
defensively.
thought about
I feel
Anton
like that.
don't go in for like 25 minutes. I was like, Udobin?
If Anton Udobin was the worst goalie of the two, you could say Anton or Antoine, you don't win.
Yeah, you could.
Don't go
You could
in.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now if he's like
Anton,
not letting anything in,
you don't go in.
Don't go in.
That makes
it doesn't
sense.
go in.
Yeah,
The
goals
goals
there's
don't
the whole
go
thing
in.
where his last name doesn't start with a D. But
It's okay. We'll allow it.
Antoine, you don't go in. How about that?
It's literally 5 games, but like you said, the big glaring like finger in your eye, poking you in the eye, letting you know that like, hey, you fucking gave up a goalie that could have been your future goalie.
Right. Yeah. Not that I think that guy's a wizard of it by
No,
any means.
but I think
he's
that he's good.
Yeah.
And I think you gave up on a guy too early. You should have. And I know I'm probably the only guy.
I think I'm with you on this.
As a Bruins fan, that was like, I've never been impressed with Rask.
Like Tuukka Rask.
I don't think he's that great.
I don't like him either.
Tuukka.
No, that's the thing. Like
Turtle Rask.
I just think, to be honest, it's that.
Right.
It's the
Tuuk. Yeah, right.
It's the
Tuukka.
You get those guys that are
He
just
does have
like
a cool ass name.
The best.
Tuukka
Like the best.
Rask.
He's got the best name in hockey, for sure. Tuukka Rask is awesome.
Fucking name.
But I don't think he's a bad goalie. I just think that he's very overrated. Oh my god! And maybe there's like, I feel the same way about Tuukka as I do about Dustin Pedroia. I just don't care enough about hockey to get so mad.
You're not going to do Dave Speaks about Tuukka Rask being overrated.
If he starts giving up 7 goals a game.
Right, yeah. If it's 7 goals a game, you're on. That's it.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
He's just going to say, the whole Dave Speaks going to be about 3 seconds long. It's just be like, Turtle Rask.
Just, all right, shut the fuck up and listen to me. Turtle Rask.
And the guy
Shut up, Dave.
And the guy that hit him was Anders Bork.
Who played well, right?
I guess
he got his rookie goal.
Yeah.
he knocked it in.
Here's the thing. One, what the hell you doing hurting your goalie?
Right.
He's supposed to be the only thing that's going. Maybe this here. Hey,
isn't the goalie supposed to be in the net? How are you just running into him?
No, there's that. That actually happens a lot.
Yeah.
Not barely,
because if you're skating towards them,
but you're trying to make it. Trying to make a cut up.
Shouldn't they have like a penny on, like a fucking quarterback in the?
It's hockey. I mean, you're shooting an object at somebody that's trying to stop.
Wear a penny and don't dive at your fucking goalie.
What about, you just reminded me of something real quick. We'll come right back to this, but this story I don't want to forget.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a book.
Not going too deep into this, but just a random story. Did you hear about Bobby Portis gave Nikola Mirotic a concussion?
No.
Yes.
They got in a fight. The teammates got in a fight. Nikola Mirotic now has a concussion.
Didn't just give him a concussion. He broke his fucking orbital bone.
Yeah, broke right here, and fucking got in a fight with his own teammate. Now Nikola Mirotic can't play for however many weeks to start the bowl season. So I was like, okay, you guys are dumb.
One of them is the starter, and the other one is like the backup. And it's like,
well, I guess we know who the starter is now.
Right, and Bobby Portis' eyes are like Chris Hogan's, like it's just not. It's like Rashay Caldwell, and they're like, never trust a man that looks like that all the time. Like it's just big eyes like the whole time. Like you can't trust people like that.
Yeah, Chris Hogan scares me.
Chris Hogan's eyes are nuts.
Every time they show him like in the huddle,
yeah,
it's like
or like when he's lined up, he's looking at Brady.
Yeah, a bunch of normal Patriots, and this guy's just like
serial killer. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, back to the Bruins. Injuring your teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, and then you have like Spooner's out. Mm-hmm. He was like you went out there and you made sure you locked him up again, kept him on the team. And then Backus or whatever, David Bax. Or
Backus.
He's at a hospital around here.
Yeah,
he's hospital. Yeah.
He's been fighting an illness.
Right.
He might be back this week.
They just got a lot to figure out.
Adam McQuaid, he might be back. And then Patrice Bergeron, he's been, I don't know. They're saying that there's a possibility he's been kind of protected at practice, like you're saying, putting a red penny on him.
Right. Yeah.
He's a guy that
if they can do it.
No,
Bergeron hasn't been playing.
He's been banged up, and no, he hasn't been playing. So this might be.
Oh, so they're fine. They're 2-3 without Patrice Bergeron. They're good.
Yeah, now
I don't think
not with your. Now you only have one goal. You're gonna have to call up your goalie from Providence.
Might be better than Tuukka Rask.
If that happened, you could always throw a call.
The thing is,
to Thomas, Tim Thomas. I'm sure he'll come out of retirement for you.
Let's say you call up this goalie from Providence and he fucking plays lights out.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Would you expect him to make that move, or you think Tuukka Rask comes back, they put him right back in?
I think they put Rask right back in.
Pay him a lot of money
because they pay him too much money to not.
A lot of money.
I think
the only play to win the game.
I was gonna say, in my eyes, when I watch hockey, you play the hot hand until it's not hot anymore.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
It's the same way with baseball.
Fuck,
you keep playing that.
No, maybe Tuukka gets like a second win, just like fuck.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I almost said that. Maybe this actually knocks some sense into him.
Right.
And he's like, oh, shit, like, I have to play better.
Yeah, really. Don't go in.
I don't know. I think he's going to turtle. I think he's going to turtle.
He's going to turtle Rask. That's it. You guys ready to move on?
Oh, it's 5 games in.
Right.
It's
we'll
hockey.
Check back next week.
It's like basketball. It's a long season.
Hey, I got a name. I told Aaron I got a name for our Celtics talk. It's actually the name of a podcast I want to do, but I don't want to do it. I want 2 other people that are Celtics fans to do it. Call it Banter 18.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Right. That's a good podcast name.
I see what you're doing.
That's our Celtic talk.
So that'll be our Celtics talk until it spins off into its own show with 2 people that aren't currently on the B.S.N.
What if? Hypothetically speaking,
they win the championship.
The Celtics.
Be banter 19 to answer your question.
The Celtics go out and they get Tyson Chandler, and then we pitch it to Tice and Chandler to do banter 18.
Banter 18.
With Tyson Chandler.
NBA Players podcast is a growing.
Exactly.
And they can come on our network.
And they can be on the network.
Gladly put it out there. We will edit it for them and put it out there.
Brought to you exclusively by the B.S.N. network.
That's a lot of what ifs,
but I don't think it's impossible.
It counts on a player acquisition that we have no control over.
Right.
So
well, I've been tweeting Danny. Let him know.
We're trying to get Danny Ainge on next.
Hey,
did you tweet him the nickname?
I had a marketing campaign 101, of course. Hey, get this guy, and here's why. You'll be able to sell Tice and Chandler
t-shirts. Did you ever figure out if the 7-Eleven was canceled by Cumberland Farms?
I have not been able to find that out. But imagine you could sell 2-person jerseys attached together. Tice and Chandler.
That's a terrible idea.
That's not bad. Sitting at a movie theater with your loved one?
With 2 bench players.
Yeah, that's
They're going to sell your jerseys.
That's the best way to do it when you're sitting down.
This isn't Posey, all right, where everybody rushed out to get that jersey 1 year.
I don't think you get it. I'm saying Tice and Chandler.
You get it?
It's like
Tice.
No, I get it, but they're both bench players. Why are you going to buy their jerseys?
It's also that one guy's name.
Tice and Chandler.
Yeah, but it's Tyson Chandler is involved in it, so now you're just calling this guy a duo while also calling him.
Tice is like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Are you calling him or are you calling us?
I have a first name.
I have a first name. Yeah.
Daddy, I have a name.
You do. And it's Tice. And
Daddy gave me a name.
And Chandler. Daddy wins. Before we go into closing time, let's stop for clothing time. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters NE Weather Clothing Co. or you can go to anyweatherclothingco.com. Check out the Facebook store, facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. Go in the shop. You can find exclusive BS Nerds merchandise there, a hat and a t-shirt as of right now, with much more to come. Also, check out the other clothes he has. He also has a retro throwback shirt. He's got something for Foxwoods now, and he also has his own brand going. Go to anyweatherclothingco.com or facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco and use the exclusive BS Nerds discount code, which is the letters B.S.N. ERDS and then the number 17. That's BS Nerds 17, and you have to capitalize the BSN. So that's capital B, capital S, capital N, ERDS 17.
Closing time, nerds.
All right. What do you got for a closing time or state of the network, pending state of the network segment?
I put out a podcast.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
By the way, did you guys read the description of the podcast?
I did.
Did you see the song I wrote?
I did.
How great is that?
It's great.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, yeah.
It was really creative.
All right, good.
It's good.
Did you see it? You didn't see it, did you?
You didn't catch it.
I listened, did not see it.
Go back and read the description
check it
because
out.
I totally remixed Islands in the Stream.
You did. That's true.
In my own version. You have to read it like Islands in the Stream, though.
Okay. All right, I'll do
Just
that.
remember that. Everyone, there's some good fantasy advice in there, too.
Apparently not.
But also read the description.
So actually listen to the podcast, but also read the description in the theme of Islands in the Stream.
The only problem is that you misspelled have.
Did I?
Yeah, it says HABE.
Oh, that's
Hab? Hab in the
You know what?
It's Islands in the Stream. You should play McCown or the Titans D since they play the Browns. Pick up Matt Forte if you habe the space, and we'll go through the Week 7 matchups. If you're not in first place, then catch up. That's it. Butchered the timing on the last two
smiling
lines.
so hard over there right now.
It's so good.
It's pretty good.
I wrote Islands in the Stream. You should play McCown,
Right.
Or the Titans D since they play the Browns. I was like, that's good.
it. That's it.
good.
Bars.
I was like, fuck,
Bars.
now I need a
Bars
second
for
part.
days.
Bars for days.
No, I need a second part.
If you habe the space.
Yeah, that's
That's a
unfortunate.
t-shirt. That's a t-shirt right
If
there.
you habe the
If you
space.
habe it. Just if you,
Please behave.
please behave. Yeah. Do it if you habe it.
May I have one?
May I have one? Yeah. So yeah, Joe does podcast that he
Yeah.
does bars on the intro.
I don't actually rap on the podcast. I know it's
nonstop.
unfortunate, but
45 minutes of just bars.
yeah,
straight.
actually, every time you listen to Joe's Fantasy Field Goal, I'm actually rapping the entire time.
Listen.
I write those outtakes. It's painstaking process.
Right. Listen for it though. It's a little obscure.
Yeah,
But it's in there.
Is
It's in there.
some rhymes. They might be like 40 stanzas apart.
Of course.
But
right.
there is. You'll hear
Beats
it.
1 in 93.
Yeah,
Catch that.
yeah.
Catch that because it's
Some
there.
deep stuff too. Very some political stuff. Some
Yep.
you have to read between the lines a lot.
Every other word
Yeah, spells out
makes a
message.
sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It makes a sentence that is saying what he really wants to say. It's intense.
If you replace Matt Forte with the global agenda, it
Right.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you just take
None
the
of-
first.
everything we've said is not true.
Just
It's
true.
just a fantasy football podcast.
It's basically in pig Latin.
Yeah,
So that's it. He does it.
I do a fantasy football podcast in Pig Latin.
I want to do a podcast on our network called the Pig Latin Podcast, and it's just done in Pig Latin.
And I barely understand English,
Right.
let alone Pig Latin.
Right. Well, if you have the time to learn.
Yeah. That is a callback
That's a
to
good-
30 seconds ago.
Yes. Deep cut. Aaron, what do you got? What about you?
I'm gonna be going to a winery
Uh-oh.
out in Newport this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Taking the lady out.
Ooh.
And apparently there's this thing called the Cliff Walk
Newport?
in Newport.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I've been told by many people, do that.
You'll die.
Yeah, that's all I'm
No,
thinking.
just kidding.
Is
No.
she's gonna see me looking like, oh my god, that's so beautiful with my camera out, and then her be like, yeah, that's great, and then just kick me
Just
off the
like-
edge, and
The perfect crime.
then WECP will just not be recorded now. Also, Gonna try to hit up a movie.
Okay.
Hopefully, gonna be able to.
Snowman horror?
No.
Okay.
It is Professor Marston and the Wonder Women. If you get a chance, check out the trailer.
I will.
And then go out and watch it if it intrigues you. It is the creator of Wonder Woman and the backstory of why and how he created Wonder Woman. It is actually an insane story. Yeah. He is a professor.
Yeah.
He is married, and him and his wife decide to take on a mistress, and that's how they decide to create Wonder Woman, because they're into BDSM.
There you go.
So, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched the trailer, it shows that a little bit.
No, I looked down at my phone for 1 second, and what the fuck?
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
So, and I think last week, or the last time I did WECP, we did like what we thought of the JLA trailer. If you guys, or not JLA, JL. Sorry, I'm so used to saying JLA, but it's JL. It's Justice League trailer.
Right.
I'm a huge fan of Aquaman, but was a little bummed that he's partial comic relief in the trailer. So I'm not okay with that.
Don't love that.
As long as we don't get Batman making jokes, I'm okay. You've made one good movie, DC. Stop fucking them up.
Right. Suicide Squad 2. Coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Just have that
hopefully they pick a better fucking villain this time.
Yeah, the villain in Suicide Squad sucks. So bad.
Well, the random dude that they just destroy because Diablo turns into something and kills him, and then gets killed himself.
The villain in Suicide Squad was awful.
Also, they keep talking about doing I don't know if we've talked about it, but a fucking Joker origin story.
Yeah.
Horrible idea.
I've been watching the new season of American Horror Story, and I am convinced that kid would be a good Joker.
Good Joker.
No, he'd be great. I think.
Although the character he plays in this season of American Horror Story, it's almost the Joker. Like it's very similar.
He's a really good actor. What's sad is he was in a superhero movie. He was in the first Kick-Ass movie.
Right.
And they replaced him for the second one.
Oh, wait. He's in X-Men.
Yes.
Too. Yeah.
MJ.
He is in X-Men also.
Yeah, he's Quicksilver.
MJ says that, what's his name? The guy with the hook on Prison Break? T-Dog? T-Bag?
You're...
You know what I'm talking
Prison
about?
Break?
Yeah, Prison Break.
I've never watched that show.
You never seen the show Prison Break?
No.
Oh, God. You know what I'm talking about?
Little rant about Prison Break.
Yeah.
How does it have so many seasons?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. You've seen it, though, right?
Yeah. I saw the first season.
You know the guy...
all you should watch of Prison Break.
No, that's a good show.
No, you should only... It's a show about breaking out of prison. They break out... Spoiler alert. They break out of prison in the first season.
Right.
End of show.
They don't break out in the first season.
Yeah, the very end of the first season, they break out of prison.
No.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Dave.
I thought there's two.
Anyway,
I thought there's two
get
seasons.
to your point.
The second season opens up with them just broken out of prison.
But what else is he?
He's in dude. It's actually crazy. His resume is fucking nuts.
But
you think he'd be a good Joker?
He'd be a really good Joker. Let me see if I can pull the guy up here. MJ sent that to me the other day, and I said, "I think you've told me that before." He says, "Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not true." I was like, "Okay."
Is he young though? Because it's
he's old. He's old. I was
going to say it's supposed to be a young Joker.
He's not saying he's going to be. He just says like, you know who would make a great one.
What I'm mad about is you took a good actor, a award-winning actor, gave him a horrible fucking role. He owned it to the best of his ability in fucking Suicide Squad. And now you're not going to give him his own movie.
Jared Leto.
Like, he's a good actor. Yeah, I know who that is. No, he plays...
he's in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he was in... I want to say he was... I forgot what he is. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's been in comic book movies before.
I'm sure.
Or comic book shows.
Yeah, I think his name's Robert Nepper.
He was
Roger Nepper, something like that.
He was... Oh, God, he was in that show...
He has been in a show or movie. He's had a job since 1986. Every single year he does a project for the past 31 years.
Well, that's how you keep your insurance.
Easy. It's not.
That's how you keep your insurance.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's how you keep your insurance in the guild.
Yeah.
But no, like, I'm kind of excited. Also, they released Monday night last week. Anybody watch at halftime?
Oh, the Star Wars trailer.
Star Wars trailer.
I was not going to tune into that dog shit game just to watch
reaction.
That's the only reason why I watched the game and then stayed there watching it.
I saw the reaction. I didn't actually see the trailer, but I saw that everyone freaking
It's good.
out.
It's really good. My new favorite character, Porg.
Yeah.
Finally got to see that on screen.
Nice.
Porg.
Yeah.
One letter away from a very interesting word that you find on the internet.
Pork?
P-O-R-N.
All right.
And we went down that road.
It's so close.
I mean, granted, I started it out with the history of Wonder Woman.
Right, yeah.
Hey, yeah, I looked up from my phone. You were talking about B.S.N. Yeah. That is not a far stretch from porn.
Well, that's the whole reason why a lot of people think it's funny that, like, little girls
like Wonder Woman
think Wonder Woman's this, like, very powerful female.
Which is a lasso of truth, which might have a very dark meaning now that I know it comes from a BDSM.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's a really cool story. One of our mutual friends went and saw it over the weekend, and I immediately, as soon as I saw it, I timed it out 2 hours after. I messaged her, "Hey, so what do you think about Wonder Woman now?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Did you fucking know?" Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I don't know if I can look at Wonder Woman the same way again. Yeah, because the story of how he created her is a little, not fucked up, but like just to see how his brain worked and how their quote-unquote family dynamic worked.
Right.
Very interesting. But that's what I'm intrigued by. That's what my weekend's going to be. Going to be a new episode of WECP. Probably going to do a little bit of Mount Rushmore of tag teams.
Nice.
Do a little bit of tag team action. Might be
able
to.
Connection?
That is a good tag team. Might bring in a guest. Just do a little bit of wrestling talk.
If you ever if you ever bring in a guest from now on, you will bring in a special guest referee.
That's a good marketing
or if you bring in multiple people, it's a lumberjack match.
I like it.
A lumberjack match on WECP.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Or a special WECP with special guest referee.
Right.
Whoever.
Right.
Or what is it? What do they call Paul Heyman? He is Brock Lesnar's
advocate.
Yeah.
My client.
So I'm gonna have a new advocate. No, possibly gonna have somebody on the show talking about it. Might be interesting because
might not be. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it might make it very interesting because he is a
Bret Hart
fan.
Oof.
And I'm a Shawn Michaels fan.
That's
so the Montreal Screwjob might get all sorts of.
If you don't put him in a sharpshooter and fucking screw him over as soon as he walks in the door, you failed. You did the wrong thing.
Just tackle him.
Just
throw him in it.
Chin music.
Just holding on to the side of the table. Just tuning up the band, waiting for him to walk in.
Oh God!
I'm gonna do that.
That's good. And then really kick him.
Yeah.
And
Facebook really Live that, please.
Right. Fight his head.
You gonna come and do it? You gonna come and Facebook Live it for me? Because I can't do both.
Stone cold over his
knocked
out body.
I can't do both.
Just stand.
Yeah. Sounds good. So at least you got a podcast coming up. You got a bunch of things going on. I'm off for a week. I have nothing to do. I just put out the 4-Star Sports Bar review podcast with Kevin, which is really good. You can check that out. And then
wings, beer, chicken, pizza.
Yeah. So okay, all right. And then
where are you watching it? Where are you watching it this week?
Wings.
This week?
Yeah, the game.
I'm just going back to normal.
Okay, so you're gonna watch it at the Lime.
I'll be at the Lime Tavern.
Lime Tavern to watch the Patriots lose.
Wings, beer, chicken, pizza.
Okay, all right. So other than wings, beer, chicken, and pizza, that podcast was really fun. It was a really good time. I'm really pumped for the next one.
It really is.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
Yeah, it is a good idea. He nailed it.
Is it weird that every time I hear Kevin, I just want to, like, next time I see him, just pick him up and hug him?
Yeah, just give him a hug.
He's very like the first time. You know what's funny is the first time I ever met him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just bulked up,
Mm-hmm.
but he seemed so tiny.
Yeah.
And then I saw him when we saw him at where he works.
Yeah.
And then he looked bigger. I was like, did he get like
he works out.
It's not like he gained weight, like he didn't get fat like me. Like I was like all of a sudden he went from
just, like, filled.
skinny, he went to being fat. It was just like, oh wow, like he put on muscle. He looks like he gained some like 20 pounds of muscle.
At that time too, when you met him,
I know he was going through some stuff in his life.
We were walking so much.
Well,
a
little bit of.
Well,
that's what we
Pokemon
did.
Go.
That's what we did that night.
Right, exactly.
I
think he was just kind of whittled down. Like I think I just walked the life out of him.
Dave almost got accosted by some random guy.
What the hell was that about?
That was in a Pokemon group.
Hey,
and
there's a cool Pokemon back here.
You guys want to come? Like,
bad
choice of words.
I'm
sir.
a grown up, so yeah. But if I was a child and you said that to me, I would be yelling stranger danger.
And then we ran into a child running around with his mom.
Who also gave us cool
and
Pokemon.
he also gave us good
and
Pokemon advice. And she was like,
kid,
she was like, where's my child? And we're like, he went that way.
I don't know. We put him in my buddy's trunk. He's heading north.
Well, thank God we saw him later on with his mother and was like, okay, we can't get blamed for this.
Yeah, right. We're like, thanks for
the advice. And she's like, oh, he helped you?
Like,
son, don't go near them.
Yeah,
especially me. I'm sure, like, I look like
we were all looking crazy that night, but
like a bunch of
just psychopaths running around. Drinking pizza. So yeah, the 4-Star Sports Bar Review podcast is out, and also Dave Speaks, John Farrell, and the Lazy Show. You can check those out. I'm off for the week. Aaron takes the reins for the weekend. I have nothing to do except for watch the Patriots, root for them. Even though I think they might lose this game, I root for them.
I'd much rather see them go out there and finally figure it out.
Right, sure. Yeah,
I just think it's tough after these past couple of weeks.
I will happily take my point and improve to 4.
Yeah. You get to, but you're right.
You'll get that one win and then get like half of the ones that you guessed against me wrong. So we're good.
That's a bold claim for a guy that's winning the standings right now.
That's okay. He is winning, so it's a bold claim. So
it's hard to hear you down there.
I'm one win behind you.
The whole floor below me, yelling at the ceiling. That's all.
I won the first 2, sir.
That's true.
27 rings.
Hey guys, yeah, right, yeah. Oh my!
Won the first 2.
27 rings. 3 weeks. 3 wins. 3 wins.
3 wins. 3 wins. 3 wins. So yeah, that's about it.
All hail the judge.
Of course, the Boxy Boys put out their podcast. It's just Josh again this week. We're waiting for the sweet return of both those guys together.
Yes.
But Josh is doing his thing. Don't mind his mic this week. I think there's a little bit of technical difficulty. He addresses that early.
Thang.
Doing his thang. That's true. And
he's cowarding it.
Colin cowarding. I thought you said he was cowarding it.
He is cowardice. He is a coward.
He's a
Come at me, bro.
Fuck.